I literally was.
That's not what you want day before Worlds,
so
is it?
It's Friday morning, I wake up and I'm like...
It's got to go down Merida, Spain, on that event as one of the best world champs ever in terms.
Fishing Gurus podcast.
Biggest liars in fishing, bud.
Bloody hell, Matt.
That's one.
How long's the
kick it off.
podcast?
Who's the worst you know?
Fucking hell. Well, where do you start? So I think... Two spring straight to mind. Probably one of the nicest young men in fishing, Cameron.
I knew you were going to say Cam.
Because Cam, if it was sunny outside, and Cam said, "Bud, it's sunny outside," I'd be like, "Is it? Go and have a look." Because he told me one day in Arden he had 6 kilo and weighed 14 in the world pair, so I should have drowned him that day.
Yeah, you should have.
I gave him a little warning, and he just laughed. But you can't be angry at Cam because he's just one of them guys that's just Cam-y. He's just nice. He's been brought up right. He's just a proper guy. But before I go on the biggest lie, I'm going to sort of... A lot of your viewers won't know me, and I'm quite a bit of a wind-up merchant, and people that don't really know me. I'm going to give you 2 stories first. Before I go on to the biggest lie in fishing, and loads of my mates will know it here, I'm going to tell you a story first about a day that just sums me up as a person, really.
Go on. I'm interested now. Is this you lying?
No, this is me just being an arse. And like everyone said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't do that in fishing." But fishing for me is not about dead. I know it's great winning medal and stuff, but it's the camaraderie on the bank and messing about on the bank and that. So, picture situation: fishing, second year fishing feeder masters Super League. I've got Lee, like geography teacher Lee, like
Lee Carey.
Yeah, like dead straight Lee. Like Mick's just a wind up merchant, and Will's the biggest wind up merchant. So I've got a real good team. I'm like feel like I'm newbie to the team. I'm a bit like. So we've done really well first year. Second year we're at Larford, and it's red hot, real red hot day. So I've drew next to a guy called Spud Taylor, who's like a real hard looking dude, like bald head, tats up his neck and that, but one of the nicest guys you'll meet on the bank. So he's there, and like there's all sections to me, right? Steve Ringer and that, all the legends are up there and that, and it's like a who's who Super League, isn't it? And I can't help myself sometimes, so it just happens. So Spud's there, and he's brought a guy called Wes Brooks with him.
Right.
And I don't know if you know Wes, he's a little guy, dead like funny, like northern guy from Northwich sort of way area, and he's like, "Come watch." So he's got a few beers and he's got his packed lunch, and he's like, "Yeah, bud, look, you boys are going to cook out there," laughing at us sat in the heat all day, red hot, boiling. So he's like, "My missus bought me a new Hawaiian suntan lotion." So he's put a bit on. He's like, "God, it smells really good." And I'm like, just messing about. Like, and he's like, "I need toilet." So he's gone to go to the toilet. So I'm like, off my box. I haven't even started the match yet. So I see him get out of ice shop. I'm like, "Spud, where's that suntan cream?" So he's like, "There." "What are you going to do?" So I got it. I squirted every single bit of it into the bush. So he didn't have any suntan cream. So I went to my peg bin. I got a bottle of mainline cell, and I filled this whole suntan cream full of mainline cell. Shook it about, never said a word. So he's come back. He's got the hair, he's fucking red hot. He lathers it all over himself. So he's rubbed mainline cell, and all match, he's like, keeps putting it on, and like it's not sinking in. It's like going crispy. He's like, "This is not very good suntan cream." And Ringer's up there, he's laughing, chatting down, "Someone get off their cell phone." Everyone's on about cell phones, and Wes is like, "What? They're all going on about cell phones?" And there's wasps trying to land on him, bees, flies, and I'm just sat there. And I keep looking at Spud. Spud's looking at me, and all day this poor lad has rubbed over his legs, his face, his neck, everywhere. He's rubbed mainline selling all day to himself.
Love it.
And we're dying. And at the end of the day, I didn't think about this until after. Honestly, he was like a frigging lobster. It's red hot. He's got no suntan cream on. All he's done is rub sugar on himself all day. So he's got up and stand up, and he's like this. And it's all gone sticky, and he's all hard. so he's gone to the toilet, come back, and like he's like, "You bastards!" And he's like, I can't even get angry, bud, because it's dead funny. And everyone in the whole match knew about it. So I'm just a bit of a wind-up merchant at fishing. And the same guy, bless him, we'll just finish off with Wes. He's like, he's so good a guy, he takes it really well. Fishing Thurston Festival, and he's up to me left at Thurston. And like catching nothing, it's proper crap. And you know when you're bored, I get pretty bored pretty quickly. So I'm like, what can I do? Spud's to me right, and Wes is like 4, 5 pegs to me left. I'm bored, so I'm like, right, mix a ball of ground, mate, make it dead hard, like a little ball besides a marble. Got me catty, and I'm like, whew, fire it at 5 pegs away. It goes budoosh about 18 metres out in front of him. So I've got a sighter now. So he's like this. Didn't think anything of it. So I've got about 8 balls mixed up now. I ain't like marbles. Whoosh, fired the next one, landed about 3 feet in front of him. He's like, don't man. So next thing I know, after about the 8th one, he's jumped off his box, and Thurston's got a bit of a hill behind you, isn't it? He's sprinting up his little legs, sprinting up this hill behind him, thinking bloody kids are throwing stones at him. And of course, the whole section's really knew it's me. They're rolling about laughing. We've caught nothing. We've had a real good laugh. And for me, that's what fishing's about. So, bit of an introduction to myself. I like to wind people up. I say it as it is, so it's a bit of fun and games. But to go back to the biggest liar in fishing, for me, probably my best mate, really, Gaz Lambert. Best mate. Don't ever tell me the truth. Never has done.
Really?
Yeah, terrible.
I didn't know Gaz were like that.
Yeah, Gaz is like, if you ever speak to Gaz, like, he's one of the, I reckon, if you had to pick a bream man, the best bream angler in
The world.
If your life is in danger and you had to pick a bream angler that catch you under £100 a bream off a venue, it'd be Gaz. Simple as that. No one better than him.
Totally.
Simple as that.
But he's a porky teller.
Yeah, so I thought I'd teach him a lesson this year at Tamar. I've been down and staying with the same digs at Tamar. We have breakfast every morning, real crack together and that. Loads of beers in the pub. And like one night, him and Kev Bell were singing "We Are the Champions" to me, like a world champion with a bladdered light in the pub.
Great.
So I drew the boated section, which anyone don't know Tamar, it's a long walk. It's about 1.5 kilometre walk, all your kit. So I got halfway there first day. I knew it was going to be a bad day. When I got halfway there, I forgot the bloody scales. So rather than being arsed, I walked back and got them, come back, got over there, the scales, set up, fished a match. And Gaz rings. So I stop answering the phone to him during matches now because he tells me I've got the smallest fish. Everyone's catching bigger fish than me. It's not fair.
Sounds like Cam.
Yeah. So like I was like, match finished. I'd caught a few fish. I've been hammered next peg. So I'm on a real shallow peg. And Brad Smith on me writes on a deep peg. He's had like 20 fish mega, 25 kilo of skimmers. And I said to Brad, let's weigh in quick, Brad. Let's get done, pack up, walk back. So yeah, no problem. So we weighed in straight away. So at 4 minutes, I knew what I'd got, 17 kilo, 500. So Gaz rings, what have you had? So I said, tell you what, Gaz, what you had? He went, 16 kilo. I said, do you want a tenner on it? Let's have a tenner bet. He went, go on then, nearest to your weight. I said, well, I bet I've got 17.3. He went, well, I've got 16.8. So I put the phone down to him, rang him back 10 minutes later. So what you had? He went, 23. I said, well, I've had 17.5. So I'm 200 grams out, knowing full well that I've got what I've weighed. So he owes me a tenner now. And everyone around me knows it. So I've told everyone, I said, don't tell Gaz, don't tell Gaz, don't. And everyone's laughing now. So I've got to the pub and I'm like, there's my tenner, Gaz. I went to the bar, got 2 pints of Madry, come back, sat drunk and both. I went, cheers for that, Gaz. That was on you. So by the way, I weighed in at 4 minutes, so I knew exactly what I got. That is a lesson for lying. And to this day, I don't think he does it on purpose. He just got one of them brains that thinks everyone's better than him, and he just tells me porkies now. So I just call him out every day now.
Are you honest? Do you ever tell
sometimes,
porkies?
yeah, not on purpose.
So if you're going to weigh £12, what would you admit to?
Oh, I said in the Super League 2 weeks ago, I've got £11, weighed 11.10. So
That's
not
very good.
Not too bad. Normally.
That's very good.
Problem is, when you lie, you just look like a clown, don't you? Because they don't ever grow and they don't shrink in the net or get bigger in that. If you're honest with somebody, they're honest with you.
I try and say I don't know now.
But that's crap though, because
I don't know.
You're an international angler, Matt. You've been fishing your whole life. You fish at world level. You've won world championships medal. How do you know?
I don't know.
You do.
I don't.
You're a liar.
Roughly.
He's called you
I'm
right
frightened
out
to death of saying I've got
So
more.
and going back, Matt Godfrey, biggest liar in match fishing. You are full of it.
Honestly,
No,
I don't know.
You do.
I don't.
So you're telling me you fished
But I'll say
every weekend since you were a kid,
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
You've won how many gold medals?
Few.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, we
You
had
can lie about this.
six.
You can lie about this
5 or
now.
6.
5 or 6, maybe 7. So you've won 6 gold medals. How many medals you got individually? How many medals collectively? FIPSEB medals have you got?
20 odd? 20?
So you've won 20 world medals and you don't know what you've caught. Oh,
Honestly.
no, full of shit. You do.
I don't.
You do.
Swear to God, I always say I don't know.
But why? But you do know.
I say maybe this, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, you
That's
are-
my go-to.
He's put you on
You've
the
seen me
spot
on
there.
live match. You've seen me on live match.
And you don't tell the truth on them either. You did the same one on our last shoot. You went, yeah, I'm not really sure. And he won by 30 odd pounds.
But I never said a weight. I said I don't know.
Oh, but you
I said I
know.
don't
You do know.
I
I'm
don't
with
know.
you.
You do know.
You knew, mate.
But what did
didn't
you think I had that day?
Don't matter what he had. You're the world championship angler.
You're asking a non-angler.
Tell you,
I knew you caught a lot. No, I'm not going to let you get caught out this.
Cameron,
Yeah.
don't ever listen to Matt ever again.
Cam's the worst.
No, he's not. You just told us you are.
No! Cam would say I'm the worst.
Yeah, well, you'd be right by sounds of it.
Denty would probably say I'm the worst as well.
See,
to be
Denty's
fair.
always pretty honest to me. Every time I ask James, he's relatively honest. 'Cause he's
Yeah,
just normal, isn't he?
James is
Yeah.
good. James is good.
Yeah, so
I tell you, he's bad. Brooksy. Dave
Is he?
Brooks. He is horrendous.
I don't see why. Just no point, is there?
No. Brooks is a... What you got, Dave? I haven't got £3.
Weighs 9.
No. 15? Like, just at border... line
The
out there.
only time I've ever been bad, like, is in Ireland once. I shamed myself really one night, but it wasn't really my fault. It's kind of Northerners messed it up. So I drew. I started the night before. So we go in the pub night before Friday night. Like, finished the festival, great week and that. And like Friday night's presentation night. So you're in Joe Mahon's hotel, which is probably the best hotel in Ireland.
Never been there, but I've
mate,
heard
it's
a lot
amazing.
about
So
it.
you sit there, and I'm drinking. I was 21 at the time, so I might think I'm the big Don drinking Foster's Ice. Really, I'm just like a shandy drinking Southerner. So I'm drinking away Foster's Ice. So when I got to about 25 odd bottles, bladdered back in the day when you could drink a bit, and you didn't have a hangover really, not properly. So we get to about 5 in the morning, and me, Rod, Oggy, Don, Mal Scott, Mount Lip Trop, they're all around like proper big. Like Milton Keynes used to take like 17 of us from Milton Keynes. So it was a proper piss up for a week, like real good. So it's about 2 in the morning, and I'm like, some of the Milton Keynes boys are going to bed now, like a bit tired, bits and pieces. There's me, and I'm like, let's get on the beer.
Been out since fishing.
Oh yeah, been fishing all day. Yeah, done a presentation. Like got the money from the presentation. We won. Not going to spend it all now. So we get to about 5 in the morning. There's me, Rod, all the Northerners like Jolly, and that all still there drinking.
Graham Jolly,
Jolly is there, old Teeth United, old Captain Colgate, and we're out drinking. And Rod's like, I said, Rod, like, we go fishing. He went, yeah, I'll go fishing. If you stay up drinking until I go to bed, I'll go fishing. And I'm like, I should have realised then, really, I'm going to get tucked up. So I've sat there drinking, got to about 6:45 in the morning, I was still drinking, like bladdered, like proper bladdered.
You're making me feel sick thinking about it.
So I've got up, and Joe's like opens at 7 for breakfast, so I've just got me Foster's Ice and gone like, right, let's go for Roddy's like, yeah, silly idiot, I'm going to bed. I'm like, I ain't going to bed now, I'm going fishing. So I went, had me breakfast, got down to town for the draw, like proper rough, drew 7C in QE Road, and I got there, it's black with fish. Next one, I'm start spewing. Like hangover starting to kick in now. Like, pretty much busy.
Not been to bed.
Not been to bed. No. Straight from the pub to the like spewing my guts up like now, and it's coming out both ends now. That bad. It's coming out both ends. And somehow set up a 5 metre to hand on El Brownie Black Magic, 6-pound Mackie and a size 8 model perfect hook, which is like probably beyond your time of doing it.
Never heard of one of them.
Yeah, it's because you're about 6 years old. And so he's fishing away and like catching a clunker every single drop. Like,
roach.
Big roach. So I'm fishing away, catching one, not really paying attention, but you literally, as quick as you could get him, it would go in half a foot and going under. Roach between 6 ounce and 1.5 pounds. And I don't even think I set a landing out. I was that pissed still. I was swinging. I swung one like a pound. It's gone doosh on my chest. I'm like, oh, bad. Like, you know, you get like a wincing pain. And the 8 hook had gone right through the end of like, half through my areola nipple and that. So I've got my pole in my hand.
Fish is still on the
Fish
hook.
is still on, yeah. It's fucking wriggling like mad. And like, so I'm like, what do I do? So I cut the line, like slid the roach over the knot, which is hard enough, because it hurts, and it's caught through my t-shirt as well. So I got my t-shirt, and like it's back in the day, so still some of the troubles were going on in Enniskillen at the time and that. So I'm sat there on QE Road with like a white t-shirt on. I think it was like a Ben Sherman t-shirt I hadn't even took off to go fishing, and I've got like a big blood stain on my nipple. And I'm like, what? So I try fishing a bit, try new hook on, carry on. Put it in there. I'm like, can't do it. So I had to get to Scourger and bang it through my nipple and pull it out the other side. So that proper Winston bits and pieces. I carried on fishing, like the match has come to an end, and like for those that know Arden, know QE Road used to be black with fish. There was loads of flow coming through the town.
Dead narrow there,
yeah.
isn't it?
But all the fish used to come there to spawn, and it's dead. No, there was loads of flow through the town, and until they'd done like the navigation systems and stuff and made the flow change. So it weighed in like 30 kilos. The first like 4 pegs in the bay, like 30 kilos, and it gets the first peg in the narrow, which should be about peg 7A. So I think there's 3 pegs, 7A, B, and C. He's weighed like 44 kilo. I'm like, that's fucking mega weight, that isn't it? Great fish in that. Next peg like 45 kilo again. I'm like, I think I've got that. So I get my net, I knock it off my old Boss box, my old Boss one. You remember them?
Yeah.
Pulled it out, one ring. I'm like, got a problem here. Got one net in. Because we don't have 2 nets back in the day. You didn't carry 2 nets.
Only took one keep net, were you?
Yeah. It was the old ones that used to like bulge around, like proper old pants nets, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I got one ring. I'm like, so I look round. There's a Brian Rayfield, Barra. Everyone will know Barra. He's a great big rugby player and that. And I went, oh, you silverback bitch, come and give me a lift. So he's come down. Like he's 5 times stronger than me. Like,
How old are you at this point?
21. So I'm only a kid, really. So Barra's got down, and Barra's a big, strong guy. He's gone, got a problem here, boys. So I've had to get 2 lads with chest waders on, get him, and like literally roll the net onto the grass. And I weighed 91 kilos, 800 all of roach.
Jesus
So
Christ.
202 pounds, 6 ounces of roach. So
Absolutely bladdered.
And I admitted to 45 kilo. So I was 100 pounds of roach out.
Yeah, but is that because you were...
Oh, Miles, I've never been so drunk as that. Yeah,
Really?
fishing, yeah. But you could do it back then, couldn't you? Like if I drunk 5 pints now, I'd fall over on the way out the podcast door. Just can't do it. You get older and you think, what was I doing back then?
I assume you won the match.
Yeah, it was like 300 on it as well. A big match, like 300 pegger.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Is that your biggest weight on a natural venue?
Yeah, by a long way. Yeah, that's I've caught £450 of carp, and I didn't enjoy that a quarter as much as I do with that roach. Just they're a special fish, aren't they?
Yeah.
And obviously, you went to Ireland for the first time this year, and they're a special breed of roach in Ireland. They're like bright, they're like vibrant, aren't they? And if everyone's ever been, like, you catch one of the and they're like proper, just
Wild, aren't they?
yeah,
Proper wild
just
fish.
The kind of fish I like. Where you sit there, and on the main lock, you look down, you've got 10 miles of lock. It's like you could leave, turn your phone on silent, like you could be anywhere in the world. And that's what I like about it over there. Fantastic place to fish.
You're making me like have a bit of an headache and hangover just thinking about that day.
Fair, like, it's just fantastic to catch that kind of fish. And like you come this year and caught 40 kilo, didn't you? Just brilliant fishing.
Yeah, but that's twice as much what you've caught.
Yeah, but to be fair,
and
if I drew royal peg, I'd still be weighing in now. So
there you go.
Yeah,
Has
exactly.
your nipple got like a nasty scar on it after that?
You should ask your missus.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself there. See, that's what I'm like. People take me the wrong way sometimes. I'm fucking awesome. But it's like, there's no point in being... Like, fishing's great, you win loads of stuff. But what I like about fishing is the banter. Like, you sit at the table here, you could have a trillionaire sat there. You could have someone that sort of just started fishing there. You sat there, Dean Barlow there, a guy from Lithuania there, and a guy from Hungary here, and a guy from Serbia here.
Or a girl from Serbia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, no good for you. And we can be sat around and chat, and the conversation would flow for all night because we have one common denominator. So we all go fishing for a reason. And that's what I like about it, the whole thing. Like, you go away, we talk about it together, and it brings people from all walks of life together for one common thing, which is why I love fishing so much, I think.
It's so diverse, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because
It is so diverse.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, like I would not normally sit and talk to a gazillionaire, but I could talk to one all night about fishing because whatever he does separately from fishing is irrelevant because we have one common interest which we talk about, which is why I love it so much.
It's very special.
Yeah,
very
and
special.
you go away and fish world champs, and everyone's proper with you and that, and they're like. And what you don't get is any of this well drawn crap like you do in England. If you went away and won world champs next year in wherever your venue is, I guarantee that every single person in that room would want to shake your hand and congratulate you. And not one person would say, "Well drawn, Matt."
Yeah.
Not one, would they?
No, they've got a lot more of a positive outlook on the competition.
And they don't fish for money. Fish for a lot of trophies and stuff. And it's prestige, isn't it?
Pride, prizes,
and they're
medals.
happy when you win. Like the amount of people that have messaged me privately, like from all over the world. Like the world champs finished this year and literally finished 10 minutes. And Shahid from South Africa was ringing me on Messenger
to say congratulations.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's what you get with fishing, and that doesn't happen in any other sport that we could do.
No, it doesn't.
No,
It doesn't.
And it will probably never will.
Well, I'll welcome you to the podcast. Current feeder world champion.
I know, yeah.
Massive congratulations, mate.
No, it doesn't really sound real, does it, to be fair?
Has it sank in individual gold and team gold?
No, I sit here looking at them now, it's like, not really, no.
That's the dream. That is the dream. Double gold. Look at it.
Yeah, it's the whole, especially for like abroad as well. Like if I'd have won it in England or Ireland, it'd have been fantastic. But to go to a venue where like we were meant to get hammered and be the laughing stock, and to win double gold, it's like.
What
ridiculous.
was it like? What did it feel like when you knew that you'd won it and you knew that the team had won it? Is it the best feeling you've ever had in fishing? Would you say?
Oh yeah. Yes and no, because before I get to what I was talking to you about, the most important thing for me ever winning fishing. This is like don't get any better. But my dad died in backtrack a bit too. May the 8th, 2013. My dad died. But
Yeah.
What was weird about that day is, and I'll quickly follow into the world champs after that, is I went to what's that place down south?
Docklow.
No, right down south by Kent, by Maidstone.
Monk Lake.
Monk Lake. Yeah, so I went to Monk Lake. I've only ever fished one feeder master, bloody Fishermania qualifier on an actual venue. That was that day, and I'll never ever fish one again.
Right.
Because I went down. I was born in Maidstone. It's Maidstone, Kent, so a real garden of England. Yeah, I was born in Maidstone, so I lived there till I was 9. I started fishing in Maidstone, Moat Park Lake. So I'd never been there since we moved up to Milton Keynes when I was 9. So Monk Lake's not far from it. So fished a match, had that 70 odd pound, didn't win nothing. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to go and have a look at my old house. I remember the postcode ME14 2DW, 10 Stockton Close. So I put it in my sat nav, went there, like brought back memories of my dad, like the old house. Looked to the house, thought I'd go to Moat Park, where my dad took me to fish one day. So I went to Moat Park. It's on the way home. Looked at a lake, drove through like the place I used to go fishing. Abbey Court Lakes used to be about there. Went there. Then I got an M20. Didn't think anything of it. Drove home. Pulled in my driveway, and I got like a little road down to my garage. So I drove down there, parked in front of the garage. My phone rang. Said, "Mum." I pressed answer on the phone, and my mum went, "Michael," and I went, "My dad's died."
Oh no!
And I knew in the instant of her voice saying Michael, and he had died an hour and a half before when I'd been sat outside our house in Maidstone where I grew up, and like things like that are weird, scary. Like I'd not been there before, and I was outside going through memories that I've had of my dad from when I was a kid there. So I'm like, my head's like messed up now. So I flew to Spain the next morning. My dad died in Spain, so I'm there, and obviously over there burial's quite quick. So dad died on the Wednesday, and the funeral was on a Saturday, and on the Monday was the first round of adrenaline knockout, back into Summers. So like gone over there, done the funeral, done me bits, and like as you have to as a son and that. I'm like, I ain't fishing Monday. Sod that. Mum's like, no, you need to fly back, Michael. You need to fly back and do it and go and win this for your dad. So I was like, because you don't, do you? Like, if you ever lost a parent, you don't want to. You just like, I ain't bothered. Mum was like, no, you need to do it. So I flew back Sunday night. Diddy sort of took me under his wing that year a bit, like helped me out. Yeah, Diddy's a real close friend of mine. We did that, and Diddy sort of got me through that and that sort of bits and pieces. I went to Packington, qualified. It's like, and I went on there, and so many things happened that year. Like I went to the Thames on quarter final or the last 8, whatever it was, on the Thames, and like I weren't really on it. Do you know what I mean? I was fishing, like everyone's catching on hemp around me, and I was catching on bits of worm and stuff, just plodding my way through. And I've had like 20 odd pound, but I got through in last place. I had a £5 bream out of nowhere, catching right, and I've had a £5 bream, like literally out of nowhere. Landed it on that 01 and like proper, netted it. Got through at the semi-final at Cobhouse.
I can remember that one.
And
massive weight.
Lee Kerry had £513 on me, right? I had 464. I think there was a 462, a 456, and a 390 for fivers in the next round. So I got through the final with Lee, and obviously Les Thompson's a real good friend of mine. Les sort of helped me out, helped me and Diddy went there a few times and fished.
Was that Docklow, the final?
Docklow, yeah, and obviously Les did it really well. So we worked out a plan, and like the first day, Lee was mild. He was fishing this thing called the jigger. And I'd never even heard of it. And he's catching it, and I can't fish because my peg's full of scum on the surface at 30 minutes. Lee's catching one every single drop, and I'm like, well, this is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? I've got like nothing in my net. He's got like £70. Wow. And I put 2 worms on, went down the edge like we'd planned with Les and that, and we went boom, £150 won the day. Lee had 79, I had 150. I'm like, don't happen against Lee, that does it?
Crazy.
He's like one of the best in the world. Next day I drew Mickey Mouse Lake in the corner, and Les was like, you simply will not get beaten because you're just going to catch £80 a chub, and Lee had £50. But Lee was never going to win that because I just believe that was written in the stars from start to finish. That ultimately, from my dad dying, it was just all written in the stars, and that's probably the proudest one. Winning that for him, like that was like one that I was like, you know what? But that's like the world champs is very, 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 very close to it. But that's if I had to pick out one match memory for the whole thing, that would be it. That
really must be potent to compare it to.
Yeah, because until you lose a parent or something, you don't kind of realise what they do for you. And take like the biggest thing that anyone ever, my proudest thing in the world is that people call me, the best thing that anyone ever called me is Dad, because it means like that's the world, isn't it? Like you say.
Did your old man go fishing?
No,
Michael?
never. No.
Wow.
My mum used to take me, and my dad used to take me, but for some reason I just went fishing. Right. And that sort of expanded from there. But then obviously to win the world champs with 6 or 7 really good friends as well. It's just like. We're a proper team.
Did you get emotional when you won? When you knew that you'd won? Were it something that brought a tear to your eye?
Yeah. I would be lying if I said no. Yeah. It's quite a funny story. Like, so I've obviously we found out in the bank and like we'd won, bloody. Everyone's in tears. Brenton Sweeney, who's just a fantastic manager, he was in tears. And then like
he's been doing it for a long time.
13 years, Brenton. He missed last year for ill health, and I took over, and it's probably cost me a few points last year in Serbia because you can't fish and manage at the same time properly. Yeah, it was just such a good feeling to be, and it's still not real now. Look at it now, I'm thinking, don't really seem real, to be honest.
Super proud though, mate.
Yeah, massively proud. And then it was nice to see people like, I run Gaz. Gaz was on Ely 19, and I run Gaz to tell him, and that Gaz just burst into tears.
Wow.
And then I rung Rod. And like, Rod was the first person I rung because obviously we've been mates since we've been kids. So I rung Rod and said, like, team 1 Rod, gold. He's like, oh, brilliant. So I think I'm silver individual. So I thought I was silver at the time. And then I rang him and he was like, fantastic. Let me know. So I rang him back about 10 minutes later. I said, Rod, I've won gold. And he went, I'll call you back.
Oh,
but that's what it means to people. And like when you grow up with someone and you're that close with people, it's just like, it's nice to be with, have friends that are like they're like your ride and dies, aren't they?
Yeah, you'll never forget them little moments.
No, not as long as I live. No, like Gaz nearly deafened me screaming. He was saying over hearing him on ED15, he was screaming out loud. But that's the kind of thing. So I told him I was going to be world champion as well. That's the funny thing about it.
Did you really?
I said to him about 2 years ago, so I'll do this. I'll win this in the next couple of years.
Silver in Belgium and then gold.
So yeah. So yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah. Congratulations,
Yeah.
mate. No one can ever take that away from you.
No, in history
Ever.
forever.
Damn
Exactly.
right.
They will remember my name.
Tell me a bit about the venue, because I was looking at reports and I've heard so much about it. It's got to go down Merida, Spain, on that event as one of the best world champs ever in terms of fishing.
Mate, it was just ridiculous. And probably a lot of credit goes to the Spanish Fishing Federation because they brought the date, rather than obviously world champs, like they normally have set dates, Phip said, didn't they? They brought it forward to being in May to coincide with migrating fish, which probably made it such a good. It was just ridiculous, mate.
What were you fishing for?
Main fish was like Carasio, odd, barbel, and some big carp, like wild, long, like looking carp, and a few F1, like we call them hybrid carp.
Yeah.
Which is like a cross between a Carasio and a carp. But the mainstay was Carasios, and it was just black with them. Literally everything in the world had gathered in this Guadiana River in town to spawn. And like Merida's a beautiful city. It's right down in Badajoz in the south of Spain. It's right down south, not far from the Portuguese border.
Right.
But it's got a real Roman influence to the town, so the architecture is really beautiful. If you ever want to take your family away to non-tourist area where you can go and sit like there, Merida, what a fantastic city to be in. We stopped in a hotel, Illuminus or something it was called, but it was a fantastic hotel and just nice, just a nice part of the world. And no beach, so it's just nice and perfect for fishing, really. And the venue was just ridiculous.
How did it go? Because obviously you fished for Team Ireland, who won this year. How did the practice week go for you, and how did you get towards winning that gold medal, like tactically and team-wise? What were the key points for you throughout the week?
I think the main point for Team Ireland this year we went with 5
rather than
so
the 6.
obviously you get world champs, you go with 6 and like that on the week. You pick 5 from the 6 and. With a few, I won't go too much detail. There's 5 fish this year, 5 like guys. Like me and Brenton had a chat, and we had 5 available, and like one guy couldn't make it. So we went into we're going to go 5. Then what happens is with 5 is I don't care what anyone says. You fish for one of the best teams in the world. I guarantee that you hold something back subconsciously to make sure that you're a little bit ahead because you want to fish.
You're fishing for your place.
When you get you'll fish. What happens is with a team, you're fishing like. It's hard to, until you go to a world champs and you think about it. Like you don't want to spend $3,000 and be running the bank, do you?
No.
So you try your hardest, but what you might pick something up and you don't want to be extravagant and you don't want to try this and you don't want to try that. You want to fish safe every day to guarantee. I'm Matt Godfrey. I want to fish safe. I want to be fishing Saturday. But what you don't do is I'm Matt Godfrey. I want to go wild card and see if we can work a whole method out.
I'm going to feed a bright yellow ground bait mix. I'm going to feed a load of worms today and risk catching nothing
and cost yourself place in a team.
Exactly.
With 5. I could fish on the Thursday. I fished a bright yellow ground bait as it goes because I had the opportunity. I knew if I blanked, I'm still fishing. But I've ruled something out. And I think for world champs, you've got to eliminate things rather than prove things myself. So that's what we did. We went with 5. We all sat down. Charlie can do this. Rory can do that. Johnny can do that. Bud can do that. James can do that. Full safe. We know it doesn't matter if you don't catch nothing.
No.
You're fishing. So that way it worked really, really well. And there's no holding anything back. And
I think that it's massive, mate.
I remember listening to Callum's podcast on here, and Callum said about taking 5. And until you sit back and you still remove yourself from the situation and then look at the situation properly, you think, yeah, you're dead right.
Everyone's relaxed.
Yeah.
You're not under the pressure of got to get in the team.
No, exactly. You know you're fishing. It makes everyone a bit more as a team, and you work as a team more, and you bounce ideas. And a prime example was the Wednesday, like. James was catching bugger all Wednesday. And he put a bait up on, started chucking a bait up out, starts catching a great big one. And we're like, he would never done that.
What, fishing with a bait up?
Yeah, fishing with it, because that's just James, isn't it? And if he hadn't been for the fact of he weren't fishing, he was fishing Saturday guaranteed, would he have done that? Maybe not. Would I have fished bright yellow ground bait on the Thursday? Probably not. And It's just little things. It's all them 0.25% that make up to make you 4% better. If you're 4% better than everyone else, you're winning, aren't you?
Tactically, what was the killer edge? What was the key to catching a
So
lot of fish on this place?
we'll kind of run through the practice week. Monday is kind of relevant on World Champs. What happens on the Monday is the venue's seen no bait for how many weeks? It's obviously closed for a week beforehand, so it sees no bait. So you go there, you all chuck along, and you just kind of get a feel for playing a fish, getting your clutch right if you fish with a clutch, and just making sure your hooks are right, isn't it? So Monday was kind of, forget about Monday, it's a write-off. Tuesday we go in, we all catch really well late. So like, this is all right, doing pretty well here, doing okay. We're not, and I always think Wednesday's the moving day in the World Champs. And you go, if you're going to do well, you kind of realise where you go. You need to have your ground baits kind of sorted by a Wednesday. And what you don't want to be is changing a whole load on Thursday or Friday because you play catch up, isn't you?
That's when the venue's settling into match mode, isn't it?
So Wednesday, we're really lucky Wednesday. We drew next to the Hungarian team on our left, who I think are ranked number 1 team in the world now. So I've got Tamas beside me, who's the highest decorated angler in the world. Like
Tamas Walter.
He's just ridiculous dude, and what a nice guy as well. So he says to me, and he knows my name, which is even more funny. He said, "Michael, do you want a €10 bet?" And I'm like, "No." I think I'm stupid. I was going to lose €10. I meant to throw it away, and I thought, bit of an opportunity here, bud. So I said, "Yeah, I'll do a €5 bet, Tamas." Okay, €5. And this is where the whole Klingon thing I did, maybe from map come through. So we're fishing away, and like he's trying bloody hard. He don't want to lose €5, right. And I'm trying because I don't want to lose €5 to him either. So fishing away, he's cracked off whatever he's done, or snagged up. He just goes, "Hold his rod up in the air," and I'm like, "What's he doing?" Next thing I know, the bloke comes from the van, picks the rod up off Tamas, walks back, sets it up.
No.
Sticks it up for him, puts it back on the rest. I'm like, well, why haven't I got one of them?
No.
So I'm like,
got his own helper.
They've all got one. Apparently, the team was telling me they all have their own helper. They all have a guy like designated to help them in practice week and that.
I wouldn't want someone else tying my rig for me, though, would you?
Yeah, but you do if you trust them.
Yeah,
and it all becomes part of a team then. If you're a team and you trust them, you should always trust your teammates. Like James Place came with me this year. James, when I was poorly, I'll tell you about it later in the podcast. James helped me loads. And if James had tied a rig for me, I'd have been more than happy to use it because I trust him 100%. So Tamas has fished away and he's tried all day. And the whistle's gone at 3 o'clock for the weigh-in or whatever it is. Stop fishing, blah, blah, blah. Because you can carry on after, can't you? So stop down, weigh-in. I'm like, going to have him here. So jump straight off my box, straight to my van, get my wallet out, €5. I'm like, Tamas, well done. You battered me. He's like, no, it's closer than you think. I'm like, no. Whoever beats Hungary in the World Champs is going to win gold. You lot have hammered it. You emptied it all day. That young Peter Bacco's just caught one a chuck all day. But it's just fantastic, isn't they? So I got his €5 straight down Tamas, walk right up to his peg in the next zone down. You're not meant to go in boxes, are you? But I'm playing it quite cool. So I went, here's your €5. He went, no, not taking it, not weighed in. If it's closer than you think. I said, no, you've hammered me. So I went, right, I'll put it under this bait tub here. He's like, no. So I put it under the bait tub and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got the same kind of bait as me. Yeah, ground baits there. And he's like, what are you doing? I went, I just paid €5. I could see your bait tray. So I suddenly knew we weren't a million miles off. I'm not as silly as a look time, so I had a proper good look. And the funny thing about this is, weighed in, he's weighed 29 kilo, I had 27. He's only just beat me. And he goes, I've watched you guys today. He goes, you've all caught 25 kilo. He goes, you will be there or thereabouts Sunday night. And I'm thinking, what's this idiot on about? I see he doesn't know who we are. He thinks for England, not Ireland. And it turns out he was right. But the effective answer was, as he's packing up, he forgot to put the €5 under a bait tray. So he lifted his bait tub off and the wind blew it in the lake. He shouted at me, you owe me a €5. he says, you've lost a €5, but I've not gained one. It's floating out there. So it's your own fault. You should have took it, shouldn't you? So then we kind of knew, we half had an idea we were doing okay. Because if you have a kilo and a half behind Tamas Water, you're not doing bad.
No, it's very good.
So,
you're on track.
You're on track. So Thursday, like we drew to the right side of the bridge where England had been the day before and had like 40 kilos, but it changed pretty quickly, the venue overnight and stuff. So we're like, let's have a go here. Like, so I said to Brenton, I'm going to fish what we think is completely wrong. I'm going to bosh it at the start, fish bright yellow ground bait and put loads of bait at the start. And the rest of the guys, like, just to backtrack slightly, we were catching loads of fish late in the match and catching bugger all first 2.5 hours. And Nigel had been walking about, Nick Richards, James, and all the guys, Dara and that on the bank, walking about. And like, we had a team meeting. They're like, I think we're going too hard, too early. We're all like, boshing. You should do, didn't you? Because you get 10-minute break up here and everyone thinks you've got to feed 4 ton. So we say, let's diet down a bit. The guys have been watching other teams and stuff. Let's fish like a 3-hole, 4-hole for the first couple. Let's feel our way into the match rather than go gung-ho. So they've all fed like their way into the match and they're all catching small fish but quick. and literally we found halfway through, you start catching big fish. So halfway through, like they all start piling. They've all emptied it, and I'm like, I've got 4 fish after 2.5 hours, and they've all got like 25 each around me. And I'm like, well, this is good. Good because I'm not fishing for me place, isn't it? So I said to James, James, can you mix up the mix that we're going to use tomorrow? And I'll start again. Go 2 meters further, start again. I had 22 kilo in the last 2 hours.
So you've learnt something massive there.
We learned a massissive amount.
On a key day as well.
On Thursday is a really important day, yeah. So like, I think that's the best practice day we've ever had with Ireland. Like we like learnt, and we're dead positive now going next day. Next day we drew box 20. And we got England on our left and then Hungary on England's left. So you're in, if you can keep up, you're doing all right, yeah.
And you can watch everyone when there's a block of good teams together like that.
So what Brenton's done to me is Brenton's put me on the right-hand end on what turned out to be the peg I drew Sunday by the bridge, D21, a fly. I caught 45 kilo in like 4 hours, fanning about. But he's put James next to Lee Kerry. And I think Lee's one of the best anglers in the world, me. So, and they've had a bet. So I think the bet was James... If James lost, he had to buy a subscription to The Edge for £5 a month, and I think if Lee lost, he had to give him a deal or something, or pay for him to be a member or something.
A free one,
freebie, yeah. So Lee's obviously tried and had 24 kilo. He's been their top weight, and James had 45 kilo or 46 kilo, but Lee was catching fish this sort of size, and James is shanking big carp, crassio. But what we were doing is literally halfway through, we'd feel our way into the match and catch these crassios single maggot, feeding nothing. And just fish away and catch whatever you swim. Literally, carp o'clock came halfway through, and like prime example was James got the big feed halfway through, bait up on like this with James, and changes halfway through the air because he can't cast properly. It's gone down, and like James, I walked up and I just stood behind James. I was just looking at Lee, just laughing as James is catching one every single chuck like a great big one. And we just thought then we thought, I've got half a chance here of a medal, you know. And our dream as Ireland's always been to get a medal abroad. If we, like, forsake the golds and double gold and that, if we'd have got a bronze, we'd have been like, I'd have still been as buzzed as I am now about gold. The key was, Ireland never won a medal abroad. So, like, brilliant for us to win a medal abroad.
Everyone was buzzing for Ireland as well.
Mate,
everyone were really happy.
So many people in England have messaged me saying we're absolutely buzzed out for the Irish team.
Yeah.
Like frightening them, man.
It's nice that, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's nice to be liked, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always going to get a few that don't like you. That's just nature of the world, isn't it? If people don't like you.
But I felt like that result had a lot of support from a lot of people.
Yeah, massive.
Everyone were
massive.
buzzing.
Yeah, like it's a freak result really for Ireland because at a venue where there is no crassio in Ireland.
No.
But I think that's the 5 working together. You come up with a plan, whether by hook or crook or by mistake, you come up with a plan. And Nutty told me years ago, he goes, you work out, feed the fish, you catch loads of them. And that's never a true saying, is there?
So general tactics were take it steady,
feel your way in, and then literally halfway through, just go ballistic. And as it worked on the World Champs itself, on the first day, I drew C3. And because the FIPS had messed up the box draw. So we had no box in box C ever.
Right.
So they messed up, and because then what happened? There was a team. They didn't. Whatever happened, we drew the same box 3 times out of a row or something stupid. So Phipps had moved us about and blah blah blah. So on C section, A section, we hadn't fished on. So we're like, can't be different, can it? So I plumbed up, found a depth. We went a 3 count really. 3 count was the perfect count to catch everything in. So I found it at 24 meters, and I've got Felix and Steve.
Steve Ringer, Felix.
So I've probably got the best 2 feed rounders in the world at the time to me right in my section. So I'm like, just come top 6. I think it's a pretty good result in any world championships on a 21 peg section. It's pretty good. Anywhere above like top 6 is really good. So I've gone in, catching away, and James running my section, catching his crassio, odd little fish, like not flying. The guy in the end catching a few, the Serbian on my left catching a few, and the Lithuanian team, me right, who's coming second overall in the end, he's beating me, and Ringer's well ahead of me on fish cam. But I'm thinking I'm not going to panic, like because our plan is not to win it in the first 2 hours, but we're going to get stronger. And literally halfway through, I'm like, right, halfway through, on goes the big old bosher. Went poof, first chuck, boodoosh, put my rod down. As you went to tighten up,
is it as instant as that?
Pulled it out of my hand the first bite. So I'm like, I'll do kilo crassio in the net. Fish for an hour with a bait up on a 7-hole AS bait up feeder. Fished it on an 11-foot map rod. Literally chucked it out. Every single chuck. Didn't even have a bait. I didn't even have a bait up rod set up on the World Champs. Just fished it on that feeder. And literally every chuck for an hour, I caught one. Weighed 32 kilo. The guy,
£70, bud.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I felt like I caught nothing. The guy on my right's had 21 kilo and 12 on my left.
Think you've
So
just
what
nipped the
happened was,
fish.
I think was when you started boshing in, bear in mind, the last 2.5 hours, we fed 6 tins of liquidized corn, all your half litre of worm that you saved, and a pint of maggots. Literally saved all that, and that all went in the last 2 hours. And the more you fed, the better your peg got. But if you fed it early, you killed your peg. So your timing was really important to peg management. So by doing that halfway through, we knew you could probably keep it going for 3 hours mainly at the most. And like James, last day on the World Champs, James is buried last day. An hour to go, he's like 18 fish behind. He had 32 Carrascio in the last hour, 800 grams a piece. Had gone to being fourth in a section.
You've got that bang on, haven't you?
So you literally emptied it. And second day, I drew, like, there's a funny story here now. We'll go into it a bit now. So we had a sickness bug with Team Ireland. Every other team in the hotel caught it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And us being us, like, we were fishing with 5 anyway. Friday morning, I wake up and I'm like, you know when you feel rough and you thought, and there was a vomiting bug and diarrhea bug, and I didn't get the vomit. All I did was like, I become the Imodium's best customer of the year. Like, I literally was.
That's not what you want day before Worlds,
so
is it?
It's Friday, and Brenton's put me on the end, and like, I'm just like, I've spent half the morning in the bush crapping myself, and like, you know, when you can't keep it, it's coming. So on the morning of the World Champs, Dean, obviously, me and Dean are real good mates.
Dean Barlow.
Yeah, Dean, yeah. So Dean's giving me 6 Imodium. I'm like, I need some Imodium, Dean. So I've got all 6 and smashed all 6 in at once. So I fished the match, and the match is finished. Like, the match has gone at 3 o'clock, and I said to my steward, jumped off my box, said to steward, Nick got a toilet, empty handed, Nick got a toilet. So I run into the bush, and it's like a volcano. So like crap everywhere. And there's like, and then, but when you look around, you realise people have been rough because there's little piles of toilet tissue everywhere around in these bushes.
Oh, boy.
And like, so I've got back to my peg and like weighed in, like buzzing. I'm third. Get a phone call. Charlie was 4th in A section. Rory's been 2nd. James is 4th, and Johnny drew a snaggy peg on the top end, and like he's had a bit of a nightmare. And I think he was 18th. Rings a bell to me. So we're like, we might have blown it here. Like, we've got like 4 sub 4s and an 18th. Like, we've had 30 points first day. So we're like, it's good. Like, for us, like, we're maybe 3rd or 4th.
Right up there.
Oh, mega up there.
21
I
teams.
tell you what done. Dean come past me. Dino drove past me and he went, you lot have got a good score. I'm like, no, I don't think so. He went, no, you have 30 points, mega. He goes, we've got 45 or something. I'm like, what happened there?
Yeah.
So next day we drew. And I'm laying in bed, like, because you're buzzing anyway, and you can't sleep. And if everyone says they can sleep really well, you're not, because you're excited, your adrenaline's going, and you're buzzed. So I wake up, I'm like, sat in bed, woke up, but yeah, so I had a dream. I knew it was in D section. I had a dream of D21. So I'm like,
because you draw your section the
yeah,
night
you know
before.
what section you're going for. It's not hair peg. So the draws at like 3:30 in the morning or something stupid, and they get up well early over there, don't they, and do the draw at like 6. So I've had my dream. Woke up, I drew a D21. So gone back to bed, like. Woke up again at 6:30, need a toilet. So as I spent most of my weekend on the toilet. So I've got on the toilet, I'm sat there. Luckily, it's quite good actually, because I had a B-day beside me so you can just crap and wash. It was great. So I'm sat there and phones beep. I got a feeder team, Irish feeder team group. It says Buds are MPEG D21.
Get away.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And a few hours before
I woke up dreaming, so I'm like, I'm still feeling rough as, like, still got diarrhea, big stuff.
What are the chances
Mate,
of that? You're
so-
some sort of weird hypnotist
So
or something.
I jumped out of bed, like, got my clothes on, rapid, like, dead excited now. Run downstairs, go to my van, start mixing up and that, and see Westy, obviously Graham West, one of a good mate of mine, lives real close to me, like, fellow map angler. So tells Westy the dream, and he's just laughing. He's like, oh, bruv. Westy's like, bruv, I can't believe that. So, like, that's fine. I knew, like, I thought, unless I get like an England on 20 or like I get a Lee Carey, I knew Lee was in D. Unless I get Lee next peg or the Hungarian or a Spanish close to me. You know, it turned out I had a Slovak on my next peg and then a South African goose. So I kind of had that boshing line all to myself. And I thought, I just ain't going to get beat off this peg here. Because you're so confident in your tactic, and we were all so confident our tactic was going to work that we sat down and fished. And I knew, even though I was behind, I was going to keep up, but as it turned out, because it's an MPEG, and like I never got behind, so I ended up with 46 kilo, won the section. I think Lee was 2nd with 41. There was a 40. I think lowest weight was, halfway was 32 kilo.
What a venue!
Like, just ridiculous amount of fish, man. And like, and obviously then it starts dawning. Like, the match finished, and like Lee's come up to me and he's like, shook me hand and said, I think you've done it. I'm like, you know what? So I think you're going to be the talk on, because they got you guys with the walkie-talkies, the England lads, and the Hungarians have got that app that you follow, which is like, I mean, how clever is that? That shows how professional them buggers are with an app.
You can see the results
coming through
in.
live. So it comes through like, I think you come through the scores like Johnny 5th, me win, Rory had a bad day in 10th, James 4th, Charlie 4th, and I'm like, we've got 29 points here, so 29, so 59 points. We're thinking, I have a chance for a medal here, like bronze, be blown away with a bronze medal. And then Lee said to me like, I think you've done it. I'm like, I couldn't deal with it. I sort of took myself away a little bit and just sort of packed up a bit slowly. Like, then Brenton's wife come down, Sharon, and she's with me, and James places with me, and we're all like this. We're like 3-year-olds. We can't work the phone properly, and like you got all that. You get a big fish to world champion. You get the adrenaline shakes. I'm trying to work out my phone, and nothing's really going to plan. I'm like a 4-year-old. I can't work my phone. And then like Leanne's texted me, how you done? I thought, I think we've done really well. Texting other people back, and then Lee texted me on WhatsApp, said like, I'm 99% certain you're world champions. And like, Lee's not the kind of person to say that if he didn't really believe it. So I'm like,
he's factual.
Yeah, Lee's like proper. And I'm like, and I sort of sit there and you think, no. And I got a bit teary, and like, James has got, bear in mind, James is first day, he's never experienced a world champs ever, that's why he wanted to come. Like, Sharon's got teary, and then like, it's coming through, we're world champions. So I've rung Brenton on loudspeaker, and Brenton's answered like a 3-year-old dribbling. He's like, like, can't get any sense out of him. Brenton's like dead hard, like face like that. And I'm like, oh my God, we're world champions, like ridiculous. Team Ireland world champions. And like, I think I'm world champion. I think I'm second. I think I've got a silver medal. I think the Lithuanian guys beat me for silver.
So you've got a win and a third individual.
I've got a third and a first, yeah. So I've got 4 points. But I've got a 32 kilo and a 46 kilo. So I've got a big weight second day. So I'm like, going to have a chance for a medal here. And I come down, I'm silver. I'm like, well, you're never, ever not going to be happy with a silver medal in the world champs ever, are you? So then I'm thinking, that's okay. Rung Rod, told Roddy, he got upset, like, and rung Gaz, like, silver, blah, blah, blah. And then Rolf has come down, the guy who runs the Lithuanian team. And he's like, you're first, we're second. Wow, fantastic. They've got a really young team too as well, Lithuania. And he's like, your individual goal, you're world champion. I'm like, no, your guy has same as me. And he's like, no, wrong. Hungarian app's wrong. And a few times it's wrong. And he goes, you beat him by 7 kilo for win the world. He's silver medalist, you're gold medalist. I'm like, oh my God, double gold medal.
Incredible moment.
And then it's kind of like the next sort of 15. I'm lucky I've got the next 15 minutes on video through the Irish team and people video, and Drennan International come and video, and Steve Winters has videoed a lot of it. So I was all jumping in, cuddling and jumping in the river and like coming up with hepatitis B and all that palaver. It's like you know what Spain's like? There's no sewerage, is there?
Straight into the rivers.
In the old, yeah, so
that's why they're full of fish, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. Of course it is. And like, it's just next. And I went to the presentation night. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, one of the proudest moments of my life. The kids got to watch it back at home. Henry and Honey May watched it live. On there was a link through Info Pesh and stuff like that.
Absolutely awesome.
And then what I didn't do, I took myself. I went to the presentation. I went through the whole palaver, halfway through the. I'm like, do you know what? I just want to be on my own for a bit. So I just sort of took myself away to my room, rung Leanne. And just sat there and thought about my dad and the achievements of what it means to me. And I never had a single beer all night. I thought, I'm just going to make sure I understand what it is and just make the most of it properly, rather than go away and get bladdered like you could do, couldn't you? You go and get on a right session, couldn't you?
Easily. But that doesn't happen very often, mate. A double gold, winning the world champs.
I thought, I'm not having a single beer. But that brings me onto the hat there. There was a team this year called from Kyrgyzstan. I had to Google it where it was.
It's a cracking hat, but
mate, it's handmade. And he came up to me at the end after the presentation, and he said to me, like, I'd be really privileged if you would accept this hat from Team Kyrgyzstan as a memento if you becoming world champion. So, and like, he was so proud of that hat and what it meant to his country, that it means a lot to me now. It sits at home next to Bob Nudd's hat on the mantelpiece, and that's a memento. One of the things I take away from the world champs is that that guy was so incredibly proud to be there, and he was so proud to be representing his country and in meeting me and thanking me. And I just thought, you know what?
Kyrgyzstan.
It's
mental,
it's
isn't
like on the side of Russia, like it's just like a million miles away. And that sort of sums up the whole world champ. That brings me on to I brought you the gift, didn't I? Which is all part related to this.
Well, you can't give it till the end.
Can't I?
No, don't even want to know about it till the end.
I can't give it to him.
No.
You're giving us a clue
Shaking it
now.
up.
Not yet. Not
Why
yet.
not, yeah?
You've got to save that till the end.
It's that's part of what it was all about for me. Like the pinnacle of international fishing is that.
Amazing. Well, congratulations, mate. I've
all
got
I've got to do now is
massive...
win it again.
Do you think you can?
I've had a silver and a gold in. I've had 4 medals in 2 years. So
Is that the mission? What is next? Because surely, bud, after you've
But
done
you can't
that,
beat. Yeah, the only way to beat that is to win it again, isn't it?
are you on a low when you get back home? How's
Mate,
fishing been
it's-
since that moment?
The first 3 matches I chucked back, went home. Second match I went to Barston, excuse me, and feed him arse, and I was like, just can't be bothered. So I text Matty Pilley, said, "You catch it?" He went, "No." So you want to go out the pub? So me and Matty, he was like 4 pegs to me right. Met him, walked up to the Barston, had a pint in Barston. As I was walking up, Paul Greenwood's there. Said, "Paul, come for a pint." He went, "You joking?" I'm not. No, we're not catching. He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming." So we sat in the pub for an hour up there. They went back and I packed up, went home. And the problem is, it's still to this point now where I just can't. Like you'll know from World Champs, wouldn't you? The buzz, the whole thing. Like if you do well over, everyone says well done, and no one slags you, and everyone's generally buzzed. It's like to come back here and fish over here. It's like it's a little bit of an anticlimax, and it would take me. Anna spoke to Alan Scotland about it. Alan said it would take you a few months, and I said, "Bloody hell, you've won it 5 times. Well, you won it once. How bad is that?" And he said it will take you a while, and it kind of has really.
Proper high level sport though, that mate.
Yeah, it's only
Innit?
sport. It's only sport in the world. You can win 2 gold medals and have to go to work on a Monday morning. Probably that and tiddlywinks.
You'd be a multi-billionaire.
Yeah,
in
it'd be
any
like
other
Conor
sport,
McGregor on
wouldn't
a
you?
Lamborghini boat driving around
Yeah.
and stuff and that.
Well,
And
I think you'd look good on a big yacht, load of birds, load of beers.
I don't think Leanne would be very appreciative of that.
I don't know, she won't mind.
I think
Join in.
Have I got it there? I think that's the footage from it. If I've got it right.
Go on then,
Have a
Toe.
look.
Go on then.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
now
yeah.
along.
This is right.
Yeah, that's me medal there. Look. Oh yeah, look.
There he is.
Jesus, because that was a Photoshop. What a fat knacker. Yeah, what a moment. Yeah, if you wait. Let's see the guy on me right. I went to pull him up. I pulled him off a stage by mistake. He went to go on my platform and I pushed him off by mistake. You watch. My little girl, Honey May, said, "You were well rude, Dad. You pushed him off there by mistake."
Look at that though, mate. Top of the list.
Yeah, look, 6 kilo. Yeah, 6.5 kilo. Yeah. I'd say that Raymond Ansting some angler, isn't he? In third.
Phenomenal.
Ridiculous.
Ramon. Absolutely brilliant. Nice kid and all.
Yeah, genuine. Yeah, no, I just
can do everything. Fishes the pole.
Just
won the Euros the other week.
just good, isn't he?
Yeah.
But some of them Europeans, like we spoke before we come on like, the podcast, how good are they?
They are. I tell you what blows my mind, and you shouldn't base it on this, but it sums up fishing. Some of them, you look at the kit and you look at how they fish, and they're clumsy, and they've not got any gear
And
like
they
the
weigh
English,
in a pile.
because they know how to fish and how to feed.
They know how to feed in hot weather.
Yeah.
Whereas we haven't got a clue.
Don't matter what you look like, does it?
And I'll tell you one thing now, make me laugh. I've grew up with a lot of it, and it's kind of excuses really. And we don't fish to any bloodworm matches in the UK. We don't fish bloodworm. Mate, it means nothing. When was the last time you caught bloodworm in the World
Not
Champs?
very often,
No,
mate.
exactly.
Unless
So-
it's a canal,
Yeah.
skimmer and roach fishing.
Mate, yeah.
Maggots,
I've
casters,
fished-
corn.
Fish Serbia twice, Italy, Portugal. I fished 6 World Championships. And I reckon put one on the hook.
No.
So the old way of saying we don't fish any bloodworm, mate, that's why we can't compete is a load of old tosh.
Tell you what makes me laugh as well, when people say, "Oh, practicing for World Championships on carp venues." I've caught more carp in World Champs than I have in blooming England recently.
Mate, ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
You've
just-
basically been catching 100-pounder F1s just now, haven't you?
yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, it's like fishing an F1 venue. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 foot. I count at 3 deep, so 12 foot deep. Chucking out, catch carp, a chuck. And next year, Lithuania's got carp in, so we catch some more over there.
Big river.
Great big donkey chonky river. Yeah.
Fancy that? That's a bit of you, isn't it?
Yeah, I like catching bait. Just, as long as I can just buy my hook lengths off the shelf and I haven't got to fanny around tying load up, and that'd be sad.
I know someone who could sort you some out, ready tied.
Yeah, well, Drennan, yeah. To be fair, I used to, and this is going to make you laugh, because I'm such a lazy ass at kit prep. That's why I go feeder fishing. I got tie no rigs.
Okay.
So Drennan did this. I see it in the shop the other day. They did a Super Spade 12 to 022. I thought that's perfect for them barbel on the Trent. So I bought one of them, opened the packet, got one hook, and the rest of it slung it back in my garage. Now that'll be in there for 10 years. I got one hook out the pack. That's how lazy I am with prep. But you can't be asked.
What you like when it comes to World Champs? Do you prep hard? Do you have a practice?
See, what I don't understand with World Champs is different for you fishing the float because you have to have big rigs up and that. But I tied all my hooks to the World Champs during the week because you don't know what you're going to use. What's the point of spending X amount of hours every evening tying every eventuality up when all I use was a size 10 Gamakatsu F1 fine carp to 020 all week?
One spool of books.
No, I tied up like 50 of them. But on the Thursday night before the World Champ, we knew what you're going to use. Just tied up 50. Done. Took me an hour and a half time when we hooked to the World Champs. That's me prep done. And rods, we do spread for a ring. Once you've got 6 up, I set 6 up both days. What more do you need?
Have you ever been a prepper, Mike?
No. It made me laugh. Joe Crass made me laugh. I put a picture on Facebook, Joe, with his rigs in a bag, and Joe used to give me loads of stick at Preston, because I used to turn up with my rigs in my bag all the time. And the way I look at it fishing is like you just touch on with them, the foreign guys. It's not what you look like, it's what you weigh in. So you could be the worst looking angler on the bank. Look at people like Gary Wally. Won so much Gary Wally. You looked at his kit, you think he was a tramp.
Yeah.
But he just knows how to fish. Kevin was the same.
Kevin Ashurst.
Yeah.
Don't matter what you look like.
What you weigh in.
What's in your net that matters.
Exactly. And all these guys that have like 47 rods set up on roosts and stuff and that, I think half the time you get lost. You get lost up your own arse. And at times you've done well in a match. You've probably been pissed the night before. You've set 2 rigs up and you've concentrated on one thing. And if you look back, and everyone watching this, if they don't say that's true, they're lying to themselves, because the amount of times you sit there and fish one rod all day because you can't be arsed, and you catch a load of fish.
One rod, one rig.
Yeah.
Fish one line normally.
Yeah, I can't be arsed to do this, just fish one line. And I tell you what.
It's true.
If they're not telling the truth.
Yeah, it's very true.
Rig. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, you fish for Ireland. Why do you not fish for the England team? Because I know you went for trials for the England feeder team and stuff. Where did Ireland come from? Are you even Irish?
Well, obviously my surname's Buchwalder.
So where's that from?
So my dad was born and raised in Switzerland. So he moved from Switzerland through business when he was about 20 to live in Maidstone in Kent. So my dad's Swiss. So I've got a Swiss passport. My mum was born in Limavady, Northern Ireland, and grew up there all her life, and all my family still live there. So all my family, I've no family apart from my sister lives in England. All my main family are in Switzerland, in Beale, and all my other side of my mum's family all still live in Northern Ireland.
You're a proper hybrid, aren't you?
My dad used to make me laugh. My dad used to call me. He said, because he said, "You're not English, bloody not English. You're not English." He said, "You're Swirish." So Swiss and Irish, Swirish.
Swirish.
So I've got a Swiss passport and I have an Irish passport, and I can fish for Switzerland, England, or Ireland basically. It's like a bit of feel like the UN.
Yeah.
And it was a year. I went for trials. The year my dad died, so it probably weren't. My focus was on the Drennan knockout. So I went straight from the trial to the Drennan knockout final, and I done really well in the trial. Caught a load of fish, done really well. But
this the English trials.
Yeah, I got an. I'd be careful what I say a little bit, but with prime example, Mark Pollard's the best angler I've ever watched fish in England.
Yeah,
and his face never fitted, and I went to that trial bearing in mind the World Champs was the year after in Ireland. That was just a ticking box exercise. That wasn't a trial where you had a chance of getting picked. That team was picked. So myself, people like Rooney was on it, and Kevin Rolls was there. It was a pointless day out. That team was picked, and it was never ever going to have a chance of getting picked that day. So I kind of forgot about feeder fishing after that. I thought, fuck you, mate. I shouldn't have swore then, yeah. I thought I'd just get on with it. I thought I'd get on with it, just do my own fishing. And a couple of years later, Cathal went to the site of the World Pairs rod and that, and Cathal rung me. I got good friends with Cathal Hughes, and he was like, just been to the World Champs in Belgium or Holland, where it was really pants, England won. He's like, well, you fish for Ireland? And I was like, yeah, go on. And I text Callum Dix and said, like, asked Callum. Callum said, like, if you got a chance, do it. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, go on. And so Brenton went through that process of getting me on board with the NCFFI, getting it all legalised, and he's got a folder on me. It's like a bloody police document of like, because there was loads of opposition over there saying like, ooh, doesn't live over here, blah, 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 blah. But the funny thing is, I'm more eligible to fish for Ireland than 80% of the anglers that fish for Ireland.
Because
they're English.
Irish, basically.
I've got Irish blood running through my veins, do you know what I mean? And I thought, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to throw myself into it proper, because I just don't like doing anything. I don't like losing. So I'm going to do it. I do well. So first World Champs, got through the whole process, went to Serbia on Novi Sad, which is a fantastic venue. So first day we played around me, Cathal, Jacko. It was a good team in that there. Not like it is now, but it was steady. And I think 5th the first day, and Boris was up to me, right? Dino was 3rd or 4th, so just beat me. And I was next to Mateusz Siviak, the Hungarian.
Yeah,
and
he
beat me by about 400 grams. I was really pissed about it. And I thought, maybe I can do this to the level that's required, because my first ever World Champs, I've just been beat by them. They were favourites at the time, because obviously Serbia borders Hungary. Second day, we had to change the team plan, and I rocked up on my section second day, like first world champs, won my section second day. I'm like, well, that's pretty good. So went to Portugal year after. We worked out I catch bleak. I was fifth first day, second the second day, come ninth individual. I'm like, this is doing all right now. I went to Italy, come second in my section first day in Italy, and then I drew A11 the second day. I thought, I've got second, I've got to go for it. We've done no good at the team. I'm going to go balls in and just fish for big fish all day. And I come 10th, which was like, I should have got my head down and come like 6th. And like, but when you get a chance, you've got to take it. If you don't be bold and take a chance sometimes, you always live to regret them decisions.
You don't always have them on the table.
So I went for it and it happened. Then obviously I missed 2019 when Henry was born because I wanted to be near him and Leanne and Honey May. Because the best thing everyone can ever call you in the world was dad. So I wanted to be near them when they were little. And then went to Belgium, just like ridiculous. We worked out Belgium. We caught a load of fish in Belgium. Really, really fantastic venue. And that's where I got my silver medal in Belgium. I had 250 perch the first day for 2 kilos, 220.
Crazy numbers of fish on a feeder.
Yeah, tiny. So we had the world champs in Portugal. I had 436 in Portugal on the feeder. In
bleak?
Yeah, in 4 rounds because last time I never caught fish.
What's bleak fishing on a feeder like?
It was Cathal Hughes come up with it because they're all a surface. So you know bleak abroad, they like it in sunny, don't they? Like sun. So we've gone messing about. We catch, and the Italians caught one of the world champs fishing for bleak on the bottom. And we were missing bites and all palaver. So Cathal got this little feeder, and we basically a Nisa plastic one, took the lead off and glued, like gorilla glued, a number 8 stot on so it sunk with this speed. Then we were chucking out, and then you watch your pinky. When your pinky vanished, really good Polaroids on like Costas. When the pinky vanished, flick, and if you flicked it and it flashed, went reeled in. And I had 126 third hour of the world champs in Portugal, and we would have won a medal that year.
People don't catch that many on a whip.
I know, I'm going to try a bit harder. And
that's ridiculous.
It's second day, we would have, tell you now, we'd have won a medal that second day, but the sun had been 45 degrees every day that week. And that was a year that Portugal had all them wildfires.
That's non-ginger weather.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't be there, would I?
No, you'd be dead. It was bad. Like, even the foreigners were sitting on the umbrellas. So that's how bad it was. And second day, it rained. So all the bleak went down, you couldn't see your pinky. And I come second the second day. I stood honestly, mate. I'm not the healthiest person. I'm not going to go to the gym every single day. I don't run marathons. But I stood up. So hook a fish, sit down, stand up, flick it out. Because I stood up and watched me pinky. I could see it better. So I caught like 300 fish. I've stood up at least 300 times. It's like doing squats constantly for 5 hours. The next day, mate, it's like I've been abused. I couldn't even walk.
Who says fishing's not physical?
But that was a real. I come ninth individual that year, and then obviously got the medal there, and then history kind of speaks for itself. Now I've got to the double gold medal. And like I say, it's
good for Ireland as well. You've got such a young team. Am I right in thinking you're the oldest in the team?
Yeah, I'm like a right old fart, mate.
Like 64.
I've just thrown that one up there as well. I'm not. You rattled through.
That's
I wasn't sure which
that's
one that
me,
was.
and that's me and Brenton Sweeney. Brenton's the manager of the Irish team. Has been since it sort of kicked off in like whenever it was 13 years ago, and he's just a genuinely real sound guy. Like do anything for you, proper Irish lad. Like wears his heart on his sleeve. Like and to be fair, without him, Irish match fishing is not what it is now. You really think about it. You listen to this. Ireland are World Championship gold medalists at the moment. We have got their individual gold medal. They're all just been gone this last month. Beforehand, they were World Club Championship gold, World Championship silver. Just like Irish match fishing now on the feeder side is all because of that guy.
Yeah.
And without him kicking and screaming and dragging it through the NCFI and we've got to be like at the moment one of the top nations feeder fishing. Go on the last 2 years results, we're top.
I think you'll get stronger and stronger though, mate, as well.
Especially with me, we've got a right young team. We've got Charlie Richards, who's 19. And I first met Charlie when he was about 13. I went over and did a coaching day with him. Like, you know, when you look at someone, you think, he's good, he is.
Natural.
Because the nearest thing, I took him out and I was just like, he's natural. But I see a sign there for Christian Jones. Years ago at Cudmore, I'd been, long time ago. Christian was about 10 or 12 he'd have been. And God honest truth, sitting now, me and Neil McKinnon on the Preston stand, on the pole bit. I've got an old Preston pole, not an M, before the M90. What was the one before the M9? I can't remember that. The one that braced to break all the while. Absolute something, because GIS 14.
Right.
So I'm sat there with that, and this little lad comes up. He's like, "Can I have a go, mate?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't care if I break it or not. It's not mine. I don't know. I'll get a free section if I break it." So he jumped on, and this lad, like Christian's like 10 or 12. he's a kid. He's a little kid, little tiny thing. He's got no muscle. He's gone whoop to 14 metres, tap some pellets. I'm like, looked at Neil McKinnon. Neil looked at me and I was like, me? I just sat there and I sat with him for about 3 hours, couldn't get him off my kit.
Catch him on a joke.
And when you watch someone, you think he's a freak. And I sort of kept in contact with him then, through Facebook Messenger and bits and pieces. And when he went to go to the England team, because he got to fish for England, didn't he?
Yeah.
So when he got to the England team, he messaged me, and his dad Carl, was a really nice guy. We do the same trade, fitters, kitchen fitters. So he messaged me. So Carl, we go out with him for a day, fish waggler and stuff. So I met him at Makins and fished a waggler with him, talking about fish a waggler at 35 metres, firing balls at him, cutting his ground bait, catapults down and stuff. And I sort of helped him out there. And what an angler. And so he rung me. We were at the Manchester show, and he rung me straight away. Been in the trial. I've got picked. What a proper young lad. Now he's just ridiculous, isn't he?
He's a right nice lad and all.
He's just
such a nice kid.
Yeah, and that's probably down to his dad as well. His dad's a real nice fella as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if I message him now and said we have a coach, take me out straight away tomorrow. He's a proper lad. But he's like Charlie's like him, just natural. Yeah. And the nearest thing I've seen to Charlie is probably Will Raisin. Yeah, Charlie's that cool. Just lives, wakes up, wants to go fishing, goes to sleep, wants to go fishing. Just one of them guys.
Caught a big Xander, didn't he, this year?
Yeah, his dad put it on the group apparently. Half hour ago, he's playing a 8-pound Xander, hooked in the scissors. That's what it counts. There's not banned over there. She played it, just casually plays it, nets it, unhooks it, puts it in his net. At 19, not being funny, Matt. At 19, I was still running around chasing girls and stuff, and not interested in doing that. And he just fished a world champ, netted an 8-pound Xander, chucked in his net, bang,
and got a gold medal. And
then you got James Doherty. You know James. James is
great lad.
I've told him the other day on the phone. I annoyed him the other day. I said, "You are going to be a massive waste of talent." He said, "Why?" I said, "If you put as much effort in as some people do, you would be number one in the world." Is he not
bothered? Does he not give
just rocks up fishes? He's so natural an angler. You look at results. I think he's been 3 top 10s in the last 3 years.
But maybe that's you look at people like Andy Bennett, such laid back as
James
a character.
is horizontal. Denty's laid
chilled
back.
out.
Yeah, James is the same. He said, "I can't." Bear in mind, James works like a US financial banker, as an analyst. He's got a high pressure job. Just rocks up. Yeah. Well, and just turns up, fishes, and just empties it.
Maybe there's something in that.
But I want to get him and shake him. I'm like, come on.
But you always strike me as quite chilled out when it comes to your fishing.
Yeah. I just don't like losing me.
But your approach to the fishing is very relaxed, and you read it as it comes along, and you're quite natural.
I could pack in fishing for a year and rock up, and it wouldn't. Some people have to fish week in, week out, but I could have 6 months off and not do it and be fine.
I remember doing some filming with you for Preston on the river, the Warwickshire Avon. Can you remember at Stratford?
Well, I turned up with all the rigs out, ready-made rigs.
Yeah, you'd got ready-tied rigs. You were fishing against Scott Jeans, wasn't it? You and Scott.
Slashed him up.
Yeah, and Bud were catching eels, right? And he'd got a rig that was tied straight through. It was a ready-tied.
It was a Preston ready-tied one on the big red floats, weren't it?
Yeah, big thick tip, bait dropping worms in.
Yeah.
And I remember every time you caught an eel, you just cut the hook off, put it in your net, tied another one on, slid your float
about this much line at the end.
You went from having a line that long, but you had about 18 pound of eels.
I know, just caught a load of fish. Scott was like, "I can't believe you beat me fishing in ready-tied rigs."
Amazing.
It's not what you look like, it's what you weigh in.
Damn right.
Yeah, I've always been the same, though. I've always been the same.
Spoke loads here about international fishing. Obviously, while I've got you, I want to know about where it all started for you. Have you always been a match angler? How did you get into fishing?
I all started don't really remember how I got into fishing. I remember going to a place called Moat Park in Maidstone with my mum and my dad and a cane and some string tied with a safety pin on the end and some sweet corn. And obviously never caught a fish. So I kept making my dad go. And my dad would just sit in the car. We used to park there and just sit there with a cane over the water with string on and never get a bite. No one ever helped me as a kid. The anglers watching you and arseholes never come and helped you. And then I eventually went into Medway Tackle back in the day when I was little. I went there, caught a few fish and that. And then we moved. We relocated back to Milton Keynes when I was 9. So we're right on at Yardley Gobion, which is a really famous stretch of canal, Yardley Gobion. Basically, we lived in Yardley. So me and my mates would walk down to the canal and fish in the evenings and all got 3-metre whips and that. And we used to call it first bridge, second bridge, and third bridge. We used to go to third bridge because it was the best one. So I sort of went there. Then I joined a club called Pottersbury Angling Club. And they had their own lake, which was full of carp and bits and pieces. And
how old are you at this point, bud?
9 or 10 fishing.
Pretty young then.
Yeah. And then about 12, I started joining Pottersbury. And a guy called Phil Wintle was like chairman at the time. And for anyone that don't know Phil's won 2 Division 1 nationals, like one on the Trent and somewhere else. And he won at Besthorpe, caught a Bream and Barber at Besthorpe on the last national.
Wow.
I won the nationals. So Phil was like a fantastic angler. He kind of took me under his wing. And he lived the next village to me. So we went to Milton Keynes Juniors, and a guy called Ian White used to run the juniors there. So we fished with all the juniors there. And we won junior nationals and stuff, intermediate nationals in Milton Keynes. And we had a mega team, man, back then. We had me, Rooney, obviously top dog.
The Rooney. Adam Rooney.
So we had me, Rooney, and Milton Keynes is a ridiculous team. I think Stephen Phil fished in Milton Keynes 1 point.
Yeah.
Juniors, yeah. So
Ringers,
if we went as an area, not be funny, if we picked like the central where me and Roon and that, we had me, Martin Green, Steve Ringer, Phil Ringer, like ridiculous. You could have made a real ridiculous team of 5 there. And so that's saying, Phil took me under his wing. I fished a few matches at Pottersbury, and only like 9 or 10 of us fished. But when you're little, it's like you're pumped up on a Sunday morning, your mum's dropping you off, and like you pick you up in the evening. And Phil kind of took me under his wing, and like I spent probably 3 years where I didn't really fish. I used to go. Phil would pick me up every Sunday morning.
Phil Ringer?
No, Phil Wintle. Phil Wintle
right.
picked me up every Sunday morning. I'd go to a match with Phil, and I'd sit behind Milton Keynes AA. So it was Milton Keynes Vandernine at the time. A real good team. Won a lot of stuff Milton Keynes Vandernine back in the day. But I'd learnt my craft. I'd sit behind like Richard Latimer was one of my closest mates still. So I sit behind Richard Latimer.
Float maker, Richard Latimer.
Yeah. So I've known Rich since I've been a kid, like 12. So I'd sit behind Rich and sit behind Phil Wintle, Ian Pretty, Paul Barnes. Like real good anglers back in the day, real good canal anglers. So I sit behind them and I learnt a lot of trade through them.
What was this mainly on the canals around?
Mainly on the canals, yeah. So I sort of kind of grew up on the canals with Phil. And then I got to about 14 or 15 and I've been doing pretty well. We're catching a few fish. And Phil said to me, he rang me up. He used to ring me every month. I said, sit by my phone because we didn't have mobile phones back then, did we? So Phil used to ring about 8 o'clock on a Monday night, and my dad used to answer, go, "Hello, Henry speaking," because obviously he had a broad Swiss accent still. So
what did he do?
Yeah, "Hello, Henry speaking." My sister still does it. It makes me laugh.
Sounds like Borat.
Yeah, basically, but for anyone else, it would be like Borat.
Your dad's Borat.
Don't tell everyone. And Phil would ring up and he rang me and say, like, you're not in your team Sunday, but like, and you'd be coming along and watch still. And like, and one Monday, he rang me, so like, right, we're going to fish an open at Theddingworth on Sunday. Because I think it should be your first match, proper big open match. Like there's like 70 on it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so I've rocked up at Theddingworth. Phil's picked me up. So I'm out 14, so he's picked me up and we drove there. And Phil had sons of his own, so he obviously knew, like looking after me. He's like took me under his wing properly. And we rocked up and there's like a who's who of canal fishing. And I'm like, okay, now this is all right. And like, so Phil's like, I think Phil paid me pools. Phil's he's a businessman. He's quite done well for himself. Got a lot of money. So he sort of looked after me, but I'm pretty sure Phil paid me pools, if I remember rightly. I don't know what it was back then, probably 10 or 15 quid. So I've got it in the bag and I'm like, that ain't any good, Phil. You went, fucking M-peg. So I'm like, oh, that's all right, isn't it? So first ever open, I drew an M-peg. First ever open.
Great.
So I've sat down at Theddingworth. I'm like, and Phil's walked a mile. I'm the first bit you get to. And normally you worked on a clear canal, everyone walks the fish off. So I've sat down and I'm fished away. And I can't see him. I fished away, weighed in. I've caught a few fish and I'm enjoying myself. I've had £3.14 I had. I thought, that's all right. And the scales start at the other end and they've all walked back with the scales. And like, Phil's like, what you had, mate? I went, I've caught a few, Phil. I've had a nice day. I've enjoyed it. And I haven't got a clue, like, because I'm 14. And Phil was top weight with 3.14. So like, it got to me and I've weighed my net out and it's gone 3.14. So me and Phil have won my first ever match I fished as an open. I've won it.
70 pegger on
70
canal.
peg at 14, yeah. So, and like, I think it was like 150 quid to win it. Phil give it all me.
Did he really?
Yeah, he said, yeah, you go, you can keep it all. Like, yeah.
What a start to match fishing.
So yeah, first ever match, yeah, won it. Phil took first ever proper match at Open, yeah, 14 odd. Yeah, Phil took it to Theddingworth and I won at Theddingworth. And that kind of like set the seed then, really. And like, if it wasn't for Phil Wintle, and like, there's no chance I'd be sat here now. We're having this conversation with you because he took me everywhere for like.
Is he still about?
Yeah, I see him last week. See him fishing on the Trent on Saturday. And, yeah,
mega.
On the Trent, yeah.
Mega.
Still catches a lot of fish. Yeah. Just one of the world's genuinely nice guys. He run Milton Keynes for about 10 years, like captain. Like he was just brilliant angler and a real nice guy. So without Phil, I wouldn't be here. So
what a great story for your first match.
First match, yeah. And then I sort of went on from there. Fish with Milton Keynes. We made a real good team at Milton Keynes at one point. We used to fish on the canal around Northampton. We had me, Martin Green, Rooney, Paul Abbott,
Abbo.
Phil Wintle, like, and we used to bloody good canal team, like, and then I got approached through a chance conversation with Mark Godfrey on Sligo Road on Enniskillen. He said, "What are you doing, bud? Next few years?" I said, "Just gonna plod along, Mark." Just because he's a friend of mine, like, and he said, "Join Shakespeare with us." I'm like, "What?" He went, "Come and join Shakespeare." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't think anything of it." And I got back, and Jeff Perrin rang me when I got back. Obviously, don't fish him, or Jeff, like, you remember him, wouldn't you? Do you remember Jeff Perrin?
I've heard the name.
So he was basically run the super team at the time. He rang me and said, like, "Will you come? I've been told you're really good." Like, so I joined Shakespeare and fished with Shakespeare for years, and we just like took the watts in. I just did some photos I gave you of like the Bloodworm and Joker team we had was second to nobody at the time. We won everything. Like, we won 2 nationals with Shakespeare, one on the Basingstoke Canal, First Division 101, one on the Shropshire Union, won a Winter League finals. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at them
for a
trousers,
team.
man. And like Eric Yeoman's, obviously Eric Younglad passed away now.
Bless him, old Eric.
Yeah, what a team he had back then. Like, you got Johnny Arthur, Rob Middleton, Paul Bick, Abbo, Rob Quinn, Darren Massey, Paul Ross, and Eric Yeomans.
What a team.
Yeah.
I like your bottoms there, bud.
Yeah,
Well, they combats or
I think I'd probably come straight from a rave.
Yeah. God, you look young there.
That's because I was young there.
How old were you there, do you reckon?
To 22, maybe 21, 22.
You look a little bit crazy, you know.
I was a bit better then.
Were you?
Yeah.
What were you like as a 20-odd year old? Were you a bit mad?
Used to have a few tear-ups on the floor in the car parks.
Did
and
you
stuff.
really?
Yeah. Mess about. The other one there, look. Yeah,
What a
you
picture.
got Wazzer in that one. Look,
Look at Wazzer.
Wazzer was in there. Mick Atchard, he was a bloody good captain. And Bully, look, Bully's there.
I tell you what that reminds me of, John Arthur in Nike cap. It always reminds me of old match fishing feature. He used to have the end peg thing,
MPEG,
didn't it?
yeah. His number plate's MPEG now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Have I sent you the one where I fished with Shakespeare on the canal at North Little On? So we fished, you'll like this one. There's a picture on my phone if you haven't got it here.
Right.
Fished all day. I've shipped like 14 metres all day, catching these little tiny crappy gudgeon on single bloodworm and stuff, and like not really enjoying myself.
Right.
And then I can't help myself. I have to have a little bit of a look at what I caught sometimes. Do you?
I don't very often look in me now.
Yeah, sometimes I couldn't. Sometimes I can't help myself.
Like when it's finished.
Yeah, after the match, yeah.
Okay.
So Pat's on my cap, and I went to look in my net. And I slipped as I'm looking in my net. Remember when it's Winter League? I've slipped and let go of the wrong end and tipped all my fish back in the net. Yeah. So we're in the second round of the Winter League. I've probably been like second in the section. Fish like mega all day, catch a load of gudgeon and little tiny shit fish against the far bank. I've lifted my net. I've got like 3.5 pound of bits, and I've got let go of the ring and held the bottom bits. I tipped all my fish back in the canal. So I'm like, no, what am I going to do here? There's a picture of me with a chopped up keep net, and I've got my net. I lost my rag. I got my pole roller. I smashed my pole roller into the far bank, threw the other one down the middle, cut my keep net with my scissors, and just proper lost the rag. I had to get
a dead genuine anger fit.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, head had gone. Yeah, proper mad.
What did people around you do? Were they like?
You know, someone's having a moment, but you think, I need to let him get on with that moment and come back to me in 5 minutes.
You'll have to find us a picture. I don't think I've got it there. But
I've definitely got one on my phone. Yeah. Definitely got one on my phone to send you. It's ridiculous.
You were pissed off, weren't you?
I was mad. Yeah, mad.
Did you get angry with your fishing, bud?
I'm going to show you the picture now quickly. I'll find
it.
it.
Go on then. Let's have a look.
Let's do it live for you.
Absolutely.
I've got it. I saved it last night, so I've definitely got it on here. Oh, it's proper.
I knew that you looked a bit angry in that thing. I didn't know that you actually were that angry.
Yeah. There's a picture of me net after. I'd proper fit a rage, man.
You look so young on that photo.
I was 22 at the time.
Matt, airdrop it to us. Go on, do it live. I'll throw it up.
That is ridiculous.
Oh, mate, I'd proper lost the rag then. I used to mind to run around the floor a bit when I was younger as well, so I'd proper lost it then.
Is this your laptop tab? Well hung. Yeah? Well hung MacBook Pro. Absolutely. It's coming through now.
It's definitely not him.
No, it's not, is it?
No, Mrs. told me.
That is a great thought.
It's belter, isn't it?
You just chopped it up with your worm scissors.
Oh, I'd fit a rage. But the worst part about it is once I'd not weighed in, I had to walk down to Mick Atchard, bearing in mind I'd not been with the team very long, to tell him I'd chucked all my fish back in the Winter League round.
And what were his response to that?
He just looked at me like some kind of. He was like, "What the hell? What kind of moron have we signed here?" Yeah.
That's a great photo.
Look at Abbo. Abbo was like not grey then. It's just like proper. How big was four? That's like a 5 head, not a 4 head. a proper fit of rage, that is, isn't it?
What's the angriest you've ever been in a fishing situation? Like in a match or...
I drew it on the canal at Northampton years ago, years and years. I'd been about the same age, yeah. And I was catching on the Emp at Bugbrook, it was, on the canal at Bugbrook. I was right by the Peg at Bugbrook. And Roger, it was the same day, Roger Tebbett, the old boy at Milton Keynes as well, he basically he parked behind me, got out of his car and fell backwards into the bush. Then he got a hedge, didn't see the hedge, and parked and rolled backwards, and I was roaring anyway. It was dead funny. His dad, his son Dave will remember as well. And I'm fishing, I'm catching on the Emp tight, like this much water, dead tight, a little 4B6 or a little 4B7 rig to catch on the Emp. And there's a boat coming from me left, and I weren't ever the best with boats and stuff and that, because they used to piss you off, didn't they? And he come through, and he crashed into me peg opposite me with a bow, and I'm like, I'm not proper giving it him now. I'm like,
what were you saying? Excuse me, sir. Could
yeah,
you please...
basically, yeah. It was an American guy. They had an American flag flying on the back of the boat. They did. So I proper lost me rag. Him shouted some abuse, and he shouted some abuse back to me. And then like the red mist descended. I got off my box, and I'm like, I've got the ump now. And he's probably carried on. And Roger Tebbett's laughing. He's up to me left and laughing. Next thing I know, I whipped my bank stick out my bag, and I walked down to the bridge. I got on the boat and clobbered him on top of the noggin with it. Fucking did, yeah. Not want to be fine. Don't ever do that, children. Ever.
You're a nutter, aren't you?
Oh, I might have. When I was bad and young. Yeah, then she got on there, proper smashed him across top there with the bank stick on the boat. I said, "That'll teach you. Don't crash my peg ever again." He drove off dead slowly down the middle of the canal. Back in the day.
But just for podcast, no, do not hit people
with
bank sticks.
Do not bash people with bank sticks. Yeah.
We're not glamorising assault.
No, definitely not.
No.
But it is quite funny.
It was quite.
It doesn't mean
tell
it's
you
not
what,
funny.
spent the rest of the match thinking, "Oh, old Bill going to turn up here, isn't they?" Yeah, not want to be fine moments, but just when you're young though, you don't care. You do these stupid things when you're young, don't you? You have little moments and that. Yeah, that was probably the worst, angriest moment on the bank. Yeah.
What's the angriest you've ever been, Tobe, as a youngster?
I don't know. No, I was quite laid back. It takes a lot to get me to that point, to be fair. I've seen you get quite angry on the bank.
No, my funniest thing with Matt is when he fell in the canal.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, I haven't heard about that.
I still laugh at that as well, I do now.
It went viral, that. It had like 2 million views on Facebook. Yeah. It's the only time. It was the first... where
can I find this video?
It's on Facebook.
Reddit.
I'll find it, yeah. I'll find it, yeah.
Right, it is funny.
It's such a weird thing, because me and Tom had started doing our little Bagging Bros vlog, and we bought a GoPro, and this was the first day that we'd ever set a GoPro up, and the bank collapsed under my left foot on the Steynie Canal
in the
middle of winter. Whole box and everything
it's
went
slow motion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't half make me laugh at it. That's like the Marquise clip where the method feeder comes off,
yeah,
and it donks him on the noggin. That's like I must have watched that 500 times. It still makes me laugh now.
It's funny, isn't it?
Oh,
it's so
especially if you know
funny.
Mark as well, because it's just even funny that the fact it's Mark.
And he's like rubbing his head after.
Yeah, just a belter, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, things like that's what fishing is about for me. It's funny, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Some people take it far too serious. Like,
have you ever fell in?
Me? I remember falling once as a kid, jumping up and my sister coming. I'm standing, my sister's crying her eyes out, thinking she ran all the way home telling my mum I was going to die of Weil's disease. I think that's the only time I fell in, to be fair.
Right.
Properly fell in, touch wood.
I don't know.
It's all good fun.
Tell me a little bit about Ireland. You touched on it earlier, but that's obviously played a big part in your fishing.
Yeah,
Ireland.
right.
How did that come about? Because obviously you've gone from fishing canals as a youngster, fishing with Milton Keynes, onto Shakespeare.
The Ireland thing was really good. We used to basically do a yearly holiday, like all the guys in Milton Keynes match group. We used to, it was 17 of us one year. We used to descend in mass in Mahon's Hotel and plough over there and all just fish. And don't remember the days of old Talk Sport and Keith Arthur was on the radio. So we used to basically all get in the cars on 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and we'd all head off in convoy up to Stranraer, like 10 vehicles. And I remember one of the funniest, Terry Tapp was with us at the time, and Phil Bardell were like wind-up merchants, and we've all listened to Talk Sport, because you didn't have phones, did you? So you talked to the guy beside you or no one else. So we're driving up and we've got Talk Sport on, and it comes on, hi, we have Phil from Milton Keynes on the line now. So we're like, hi, it's Phil Bardell. We're just we're on the way to Ireland now, and our friend Terry comes every year, but he doesn't seem to catch a lot. Is there any tips for him? So we're like roaring, and Terry's come past. He's like, the window and stuff, and we near it. Like, what's like the best wind up ever? Well, we used to sit there and we get we have the old cassette players, but you cassetting, didn't you? Back in the day. So me and Bagley used to drive. I used to have a fast car the most, and to get to the front. Then we'd open the window and hold the tape, peel the tape off, And so the wind would catch the tape and it'd peel all the tape off. So behind you, all the wing mirrors were all covered in tape going down the motorway. So then we started doing that at Milton Keynes, and we sort of went every May. We go Mahons week every single May, descending mass, fish Mahons, just get lashed for a week, all of us, and then go home. Just like the best times ever.
And the fishing were amazing. Then.
Back in the day, mate, ridiculous. Yeah, we didn't care about the fishing. We were 20. Well, first when I was 17, I didn't care about the fishing. You used to go on your a week holiday where you went fishing. And we never competed back then because we were too bladdered and we were too young to understand it and never had the kit, couldn't afford the kit. But we had a bloody good week away, all of my mates. Me, Rowley, McAnini, Greeny come a couple of years.
I saw Rowley at the Big One show and had a right good natter with him.
Yeah, he's lure angler now. He's top lure angler.
You can tell he's really good at
just
it as well,
fishing.
Isn't he?
Just a good angler. If you can fish, can't you?
Damn right.
And that where it sort of stemmed. Met Roddy there in a pub in Mahon's Hotel, and like since we've been 17, so I've known Roddy since I was 17. Like, and we could like not speak for a year, like. And then I could meet him now and it would be like nothing's ever changed. One of them people that you just sort of always click with the rest of your life. And we've been going ever since, really.
Well, you did the world pairs with Roddy, didn't you?
Yeah, I fished to start with Phil Bardell, because obviously Phil's one embassy pair, won a lot of stuff Phil has, so I learned a lot from Phil. I used to work with him. So I fished with him a couple of years, and like then one year Rod was fishing with Terry Bincliffe, and he said like, we've both done mega. And he said like, do you want to go together? Like we could do really well here. So I said, yeah, I'll tell Phil, you tell Terry, we'll just like keep it nice and not fall out of anyone. We'll fish together. So we did. Me and Rod went, and we were on the ferry on the way over the first day, and all the printout, because Helen Rainsford runs it, so it's really professional. So all the payouts all written down, you know what you're going to win, Daiwa sponsor it, blah, 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 blah. So the first year, me and Rod went together. We're on the ferry, and he goes, oh, look at that payout. Look, I don't want to come fourth, a right crap payout for fourth. It's like gone £2,500 to 600 quid. Oh, right, well done. So I become fourth.
No.
So we went.
Shouldn't have said out, should it?
So we went fourth. Next year become third. Next year become second. Next year we won it. And then we went third, second, then COVID arrived. So the worst ever we've made 4-3-2-1, 3-2. And we should have, if COVID hadn't arrived, we'd have won it again. That's why I think look at it in a way.
Cracking record.
But the year we won it, we just took the Whatsit. Because the year we won it, no roach fed. There was whole hybrid fishing, and I think I can send you that as well. I've got this on them somewhere on the list.
I'm not blowing smoke up your arse, but I went to Ireland for the first time this year, and so many people, when we were talking about hybrid fishing, were saying Bud and Roddy have got it tapped. Bud and Roddy, they're the boys with the hybrids.
I've heard so many things about what we feed and everything and stuff. I've heard we fed 2 kilos of red worms, and I've heard I've heard we fed 2 pints of liquidized hemp, and like. Everyone took a bit of hemp to Ireland in my life.
What was the key to success in Ireland, Bud? Because that record there, though, is phenomenal. It's not just drawing. I'm not having that. You're talking a lot of rubbish there.
It's just.
Wait, do you mean that drawing?
That is a belter, isn't it? He was asleep. He was asleep 30 seconds before that as well. Look.
Folks, if you're listening and not watching, there's a picture of Paul Boothby on screen with a massive penis and something coming out of the end of it drawn on his chest. I'm assuming he's bladdered there.
Oh, we have the videos of it. We have the videos of it beforehand where we're doing it, and me that's a really, really posh golf club that is down by Nascara. And there's me on this end of the table, Boo sat there, Roddy's next to him, Sean and Cam. So there's 5 of us there, they're like 5 frigging children. We literally are 5. The golf club's dead posh. And there's us lot there drawing pictures of big spunking things over each other.
Look at Roddy's face. It's concentrating, isn't it?
I should send you the video. Honestly, well, the first time Rod goes to draw on Boo's arm, Boo flinched, like, because he got a cold pen on his arm. And I sort of panned around. It's Roddy's like, you get the giggles and you're shaking. And Sean's gone bright red. And Sean's like giggling and shaking. And Cam just looks at me. And like that's the same night Cam nearly killed me, that is. Cameron Hughes nearly killed me.
Go on, what happened there?
So I've had our dinner, and I've gone to take a swig of my beer. There's a massive rib in my beer. So he's putting me Guinness a big massive spare rib. So I've released one of the spare rib. I was like 3 ribs. I was that drunk, I didn't even realise there was 3 ribs in my Guinness.
Oh.
Animals, mate, aren't they?
Horrendous.
But that's poor old Boo, yeah. What a legend.
Tell me about Ireland. You're not getting away with it.
Yeah, it's just the pairs was like we just bounced off each other. Like we had a ground mate mix, which is like the mix we use. You can't make a ball out of.
What is it? Can you tell us?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, it's Census Black Feeder and Census Brown Crumb. But have you ever smelt brown crumb from Census? It's like it's made with French baguettes, like. So you could eat it, and literally, I don't care how strong you are, you cannot physically make a ball out of it.
Almost sandy.
Yeah, so you basically get it, you squeeze it, you go puffs out.
Right.
And everyone was saying, like, you're feeding 8 pints of cast. And all we used to do was there was a pot of worms, pot of casters, like 2 scoops of caster, half one of worms, mixed together. And we should just feed. And everyone would start on a big feeder. We would start on a big and fish that for like half hour. That's a great word, isn't it?
Don't know if you're allowed to say that on the podcast, but
I might have to flag that one out.
there might be a beep in there.
That's what they call it. It's called a
point.
window.
Okay.
And then we used to go, that's a medium one, and fish dead positive. We used to fish, like, and everyone still thinks we're lying, and God's honest truth from my kids' life. We used to fish 0.25, 0.26, and a size 12, and it never changed. And everyone's fishing 0.18 and stuff. And what me and Rod thought was, like, obviously it falls through the water. Maybe we don't. Obviously, you can't prove it. It's a theory. Does it fall straighter? Does it fall slower? But there's something about it that hybrids like. And fish dead positive. I've always fished a size 12, B560, and 0.25 like line, and just chuck in. And that's the idea of them bigger feeders I showed you, whichever they were. The ones that are dead heavyweight. So you get to the bottom, do straight to the bottom, count straight to your tip, and you get your bite pretty quickly. And if people are still fanning around trying to sink tips and still trying to pull into it, we were fishing like an 80-gram feeder, which is then held in dead tight to your thing and straight on the bite straight away. And people obviously found the wrong count. We knew what count to fish in.
What was the count?
Yeah, basically people count different, but me and Roddy always count to 10. If you catch a count, find a count at 10 on the urn, you always caught fish. And like, how deep do you think a count at 10 is?
Depends what weight feeder, doesn't it? But I'd say
So say an ounce and a half lead. Say an ounce and a half lead. What would you say a count at 10 is?
20 foot.
Miles off, I reckon.
Do you think it's deeper?
Yeah, massively.
25 foot?
More.
Do you reckon?
A count of 12. I did it down at Bow Beach. Steve Ringer had one of them scope and them deeper things.
Yeah.
So he's chucking one of them. I said to him, "I'll be next Peg and Feeder Masters final." And we had like a right ding dong battle, and I chucked out over his line, and my count of 12 was 36 foot.
Wow.
So a count of 12 was 36 foot, and I've done it on a boat at the airport as well. We've chucked out. That's where you're fishing, and obviously they've got proper sonar on the boats. And what I'm counting to a count of 10 is 30 foot. So a count of 10 on an ounce and a half, actually on a Guru ounce and a half bomb, the pear-shaped one, is a count of 10's over 30 foot.
So you reckon 30 foot's a good depth?
That was the depth we found in September that you caught hybrids in. And we would you look at our catch shots, I won it individually, and Roddy was second individual, and we won the pairs. So it's like winning that. You don't get beaten. I think
took the mick there.
I think with 30, I think we could have not fished last day and still won. That's how much we won by. But it was all catching big hybrids.
And what were the theory? Did people give you a bit of stick about what you were doing then?
Loads of stick about
what
it.
Like? Tell me a bit about it. I didn't know about this.
So with Ireland, you had to pre-bait, and everyone was like, don't just pre-bait. But you did have to pre-bait. And so we, obviously, Decal would come up with a boat, and we'd mix up. And bear in mind, we did it out of my own money. Me and Roddy out of our own pockets. We'd get all the ground bait, mix it all up, get out on a boat, go in the middle of the lock, ride along the section. Everyone was like, Bud's standing on the bank, chucking out. Roddy's catching the feeder, dropping it in and putting all the balls on so they're on the same line. When I've got videos, after it, I'll tell you in a second. So basically, we would drive along. I'd cast from the boat, about 6 foot from the bank. We'd throw a load of balls in, and we would just drive along and just go doosh, 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 balls everywhere, left, right, over the side, everywhere. And everyone was like, no, they've got it marked out at 35 metres near, and they're tipping the balls in, and they're making markers on the pegs. They know where to cast. And I'm like, what are you on about?
As if you could be asked to do with that.
Asked, you know what I mean? And then one day, the bait farm Irish Tackle and Bait give us like 500 pints of maggots. So like we've gone to Horse Island, and this all kicked off. Everyone accused us of cheating in bits and pieces, like, and it's just never me. And like,
I didn't know that had happened.
Oh mate, it's so bad over there at times, accusing people and stuff like that. So next year, I thought I can't be arsed with this. So I rung Dino up. I said, Dean, you're England manager. Get your ass down here now. And I've got videos of us out in the boat, and no one was going to call Dean out. He's England manager. So then it still did. So we've got Dean on the boat. We've gone out, like we've got scoops, like 2-3 pint bait tubs. We have hoofing maggots here, hoofing maggots there, like everywhere. We're putting bait in, like all over the place. Next morning, you, Dean, and that all know where the bait's gone now, don't you? And what made it worse was the first day this year.
You're trying to make the fishing better.
Yeah, and all people can do is accuse you of cheating. Yeah. And all we've done is thrown bait. I've got videos.
You could be sat in the pub having a Guinness, but instead you're out.
And it's cost me like 100 crap my own money both times. So we put bait everywhere. And this was the year it got really bad. The year I made Dean come with me and help us. I drew Horse Island 7 the first day. So he rocked up, and I'm next to Willem Moulton. Don't you know Willem, Belgian guy, a
I
Dutch
don't.
guy,
I
real
don't.
nice lad. And like Steve's two to me left or three to me left. So I've gone out, chucked out. And I'm like, this will be good. Played it, got it in. It's the year we won the pairs. So I'm like, this is getting better and getting better and getting better. And I've emptied it. I had 36 kilo. I think Steve was second on the bank with 25. And then I get back to the pub and I'm like, well, you knew where you fished. Knew where the bait went. I'm like, have a look at this video. That's where the bait went. It's like we're firing maggots at each other. And I'm like, why would you even say things like that? And that's where it kind of stemmed from. Like, the hybrid we just had sorted. You know when you get something in your head and you know how to feed them and you know when to change and you know when to up it and when to come back off it and bits and pieces like that. We just knew. And that's why we just sort of dominated it for, literally that record's brilliant, really, to be fair.
Unrivaled. Well, like I said, people were really still talking about it this year when I went.
I remember when we come on that last day, literally the match I drew Killer D's 10 and Ronnie was on about Killer D on Greenie's 10. So literally an hour in, phone rings, Rod. I went, how you getting on? I went, I got 10 kilo. He went, oh, and put the phone down on me. He went, I run back 5 minutes. He went, I was too excited to talk. I had to compose myself and ring you back. So he went, don't catch too many, because Roddy was winning individual at the time and I was second. He went, don't catch too many. I went, I'm catching a few, Rod. He went, don't overtake me, because he'd been second the previous year and he wanted to win it. So then the actually run me. I said, what you had? He went, 10 kilo. I just started laughing. He went, oh! I had 19, so I won the individual and he comes second. So we walked away with 10 grand there, like between us. We walked away with about 17 grand, I think, for the week. It was just phenomenal fishing. Yeah, that was the World Pairs is not on anymore, and that was bar none the best competition I've ever fished in Ireland, because you have Steve and Phil Ringer, Felix Sherman, Thorsten Kusters, Jens Koschnik.
The fishing looked great as well,
and
bud.
it's so well organised.
Why don't Helen do it again? I've asked her a few times, you know.
It's difficult. It's hard to get because the infrastructure needs to be in place. You need to align all the stars and different authorities, and rather than all work together, they all work against each other half the time. And what really annoys me about all the people in Ireland is if they all got together at a table and stopped frigging bickering and got together. But the problem is there's too many people want a slice of the cake and it becomes difficult, isn't it?
See, I can tell there's a clickiness with like councils, landowners.
Yeah, of course there is. Yeah. People want to make money off here, there, everywhere, and it's difficult. And it was the best competition I've ever fished by a long way. And me and Rod said if it ever came about again, we probably wouldn't fish it because the record's so good. Why would you put yourself in the fire to bomb a hat? You should quit when you're on top. So that's kind of what we've sort of agreed to do. But the fishing over there is just ridiculous. And I've won Mahon's, and I've won a few places over there. It's just a fantastic place to fish.
Where's your favourite place to fish in Ireland?
Oh, River Erne, Loch Erne, on the main loch. You never got to the main loch, did you?
No.
You filmed with Steve on. Did you film with Steve when you were on the?
I filmed with Steve on airport, and I fished on Horse Island before.
Yeah.
But I've never.
The best place for me. The best place for me is I just love Killer D's, where you sit there and you can't see anyone, you can't hear anyone, and the minute it does go around, it's always a good fish. It's a big hybrid, big roach or big perch. Just a fantastic place, and the hospitality second time. You go in the pub in the evening, everyone wants to chat to you. Not like over here, you get bottled.
I love their accent, me. An Irish girl's accent does it for me.
Does it?
Yeah.
What if you say boy then?
Big time. What do you think to Irish accent, Tobe?
It is a good accent.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Does make you think, oh, I fancy you, doesn't it? Don't you think? Honestly.
Which is about 94, Matt still fancied her.
Yeah. Not wrong with a bit of experience, bud.
No, nothing wrong with that, mate. At all. Nothing wrong with that. You need to move on pretty quickly.
Yeah, dude, I'll get in trouble. I hope my missus don't listen to a podcast. We'll be all right.
My
mum does, though, sometimes.
You're boring enough at home.
Yeah, that's true. Talking about aggressive venues, somewhere else I really want to ask you about that's sort of a little bit similar to Ireland in the sense of big natural place. Tamar. Your record there is phenomenal.
Oh, it's pretty. I do like Tamar, yeah.
When did you first go to Tamar?
Wesley kind of said to me, 2018, Simon Pointer was running some festivals down there. Why didn't you come and have a go? So I thought, So I booked a lodge on a place called Penstowe Park, and I brought me, Leanne, and Honey May. Henry wasn't born yet, and Leanne's parents come down as well. So we had a week there, and I fished the festival. I just rocked up, won my section 3 days out of 3. And won the festival. So that was 2018. And I kind of had a love affair with it since. I think I looked the other day, I fished 35 days on there and won 23 days out of 35 or something.
Won the match?
Yeah.
That's stupid. That's
just
pathetic.
Yeah, that's the first ever time ever to Tamar there, yeah.
Wow.
I fished fished a fair few festivals on there now, and I think my guarantee my worst ever result in a festival is 3rd.
Incredible.
Because it just suits me. It just suits my fishing.
What do you mean by suits you? What would you say is up your street?
I try to explain
why do you do so well?
Because I explain to people that festival fishing is not about beating people around you. On a festival, the only thing you're competing against is your pegs. So you can't change what pegs you're on. If I can't say I'm going to beat you next peg, because it's irrelevant, because I'm probably not going to be next to you next day. So I always fish my pegs, and I also work it. If I catch 3 roach, you've got to catch 4 roach to beat me. If I catch 100 roach, you've got to catch 101 to beat me. And when you get ahead, people can't catch you up. What I used to do, I used to fish for bits. I used to catch a load of roach, and no one's going to ever beat me catching roach speed fishing. It's just good at it. So I'd go in, catch. You get to like 60 roach, and they're all like, well, I can't compete, I'm going to fish for skimmers. But what I did was I just carry on fishing for roach, and then it'll just go quiet. Then you'd have like 17 skimmers in 17 chucks on your roach line. It was like the fish came in, and then back off. And all I would do is I'd capture 17 skimmers, and then the roach would come back, and you just catch one. Then you get a second run, you get like 12 skimmers in your next run. All of a sudden, you've got like 30 skimmers, and you've not fished for one.
What?
And they're fishing for them still. But I've also got 150 roach too.
You're so confident when I listen to you talk now. And I've seen you fish, and I know that you're confident.
Yeah.
Like what? Where does that come from?
I don't know, just years, I suppose, years of doing it, don't you? If you do something repetitively enough, you become good at it, don't you?
Do you ever sit down and think, I'm going to get beat here?
No.
You always feel like you're going to win.
Even like, I drew next to you a couple of times, didn't I? And I never think I'm going to beat, no.
No.
I always think I can compete. And the day I think I can't compete is probably the day I pack in. Like we talked earlier, we had a right ding-dong battle. You hadn't been beaten. Lee Kerry said to me, he goes, Matt's not been beat off the next peg.
Ages.
For about 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'll beat you off the next peg on Lindome.
Yeah.
That's like,
I beat you at Allcroft though, don't
you? Did, yeah. I don't remember.
And I beat you at Packington once.
Yeah, but it only counts at Lindome.
Does it? But you know, like this speed fishing, bud, you're phenomenal at it.
Yeah, but I just think it's kind of smooth. You look at the best anglers that are quick, like Polly, dead efficient, looks like a bag of spanners, but he's smooth, no mistakes.
It's hard to do that.
No,
though.
it's not.
You're catching hundreds of fish on a feed.
People rush.
What's the key to success?
Slow down.
Go as steady as you can.
Yeah, because no point. You watch me like this. Try to find knocking things over. I just go underarm it. I can underarm it to 18 metres, which helps. But that's only through practice. But I can also fish left-handed. But that's only because I've been out and practiced it. So I used to fish the canal, and it's only you get better by doing things. If you do a rule of 100, isn't there? If you spend 100 hours, like if I spent 100 hours doing kickboxing, you'd be better than 1% of the world. So if you do anything, if you do 100 hours speed fishing, you're going to be better than 99% of people in the world. Same as anything. If you have a rule of 100, do it for 100 hours solid. You're better than most.
That fishing though, and I know this is why I want to ask you about it. Like technically, hitting bites from little fish on the feeder, etc., is tricky.
You've got to, that's only through experience that comes.
And what are the little things that you do?
Yeah, so I'm really quick. I chuck out and it hits the surface down to the bottom and hold it right in front of me there. But I pull back quickly. And I fish with my tip like a great big arc, and sometimes I hook against themselves. So always fish a running rig. But if you don't fish a running rig, you will not hook hardly anything. Have to be a running rig, and you just straight up to me rest. But then watch people, they go and they're in, whereas I just don't. I wait till I know it's a bite that can be hooked. But you only work out what can be hooked by fishing that day, and every day changes. So it's not a case of like this one. You have to literally. People say, "Oh, just chuck it in, reel it in." It's not. Otherwise, everyone would win, wouldn't they? Every day changes. Some days they want it threaded. Some days they want wormhead. Some days they just want different ways of hooking it. But that's all about changing and fishing during the match. And if you just go there and do the same thing every time, you're not going to win. And it's just a case of I've just learned over years to do it. And probably going to Ireland helps as well, fishing for roach in Ireland. But it's just a case of go there and practice it. And if you have to go out, but what people do is they get bored. And once they get bored, once you get ahead of them, and I'm quite good at it, I just go, how many? And I make up stuff for me. Like they'll say 20, and I'll go, I've got 21. And I'll be like, what you got? I'll go, 37.
And you don't really know.
I don't have nothing at all. No, like 21, one more than him. But if you tell him he's got 15 more than him, he's thinking, next time.
Do you do a bit of mind games with people when you're fishing?
All the time, yeah.
Do you?
Well, it's part of it, isn't it?
Damn right. Do it in any other sport.
Exactly, yeah. You got cricket, they play ball, you don't know all the time and give you loads of grief.
Yeah.
I do all the time, but yeah. I got Gaz Lambert, an absolute pelter at Staunton the other year. Because Gaz is like one of them. Gets a bream, he goes, where's my net? He goes, right. And everyone's like this, aren't they? That's what Gaz is. He does one of them. So I drew beside him, and this big tree in the way. You couldn't see me. I couldn't see him. So every time I caught a fish, I was like this, catching skimmers. He's got 4 or 5 perch. He fished 90 metres, got 4 or 5 perch. So I'm catching skimmers at 45. So I'm getting one. I'm unhooking him and I'm going, placing him into my keeper. Not a splash, like dead silent. He was just jockeying quite a bit. I said, yeah, I'm trying to get some fish in the peg and that. And the match has come to the end and Gaz has walked down. What we had, Gaz? 1 pound or 15 ounces or something he had. And I weighed 26 pound. He went, I've not heard you catch fish. I went, yeah, because I'll be slipping them as silently as I can into him there. Yeah, that's why I've not fished short, didn't think you were catching.
Love it. Absolutely. Love it.
But not be funny. We're sportsmen, aren't we? I want to win, so not be funny. As long as you're not cheating, you don't really. One of the best ones, Rune will back me up on this. I'm actually quite a good carp angler, like match carping. When Makins kicked about at the start, Billy Makins used to run a 240 peg winter league. So 240 pegs on a Sunday 1 week was the Gold League, and the Silver League was a week after. Every Sunday was a 240 pegger on Makins. That's a big ass match, isn't it? So we were catching it, but when you used to fish single caster tight against a fast bank, go over there, like basically put a caster in, don't catch his little carp, £1, £3.
Why a caster?
It just seemed to work. So back in this long time ago, I was like 20, I was with Milton Keynes at the time, so I'd be 18, 19, 20. And I worked out that you fed 0. So what I did was a bit naughty. I went to B&Q and I bought a big, massive bag of these pebbles, like this sort of size. So then I had them on my side tray here, under me like box out the way and a bait tub with the lid on. And no one walks about there because walking about was banned. So match would start, get me pole cup over, get a rock out, put a big pebble in me cup, ship me cup out to the far bank with poking poles like this. Fucking arced over. I'm like, cup it into the rushes, this pebble. Go over there, catch carp. And all around me, they're feeding balls of ground bait now. They're cupping over balls of ground bait, cupping it into the far bank.
Devil.
And I fed, honestly, mate, I won the individual on the Gold League, 240 pegger, and I won the individual on the Silver League the same year, and I fed 45 pebbles. And honest to God, won both of them, yeah. Won 2 Preston poles. And I kept drawing on phase 3 and phase 2, which was really lucky for me. And I won both of them, and I never fed a single thing. And I fished a yellow caster. I used to turn my own caster out yellow maggots to get more vibrant colours so they could see it. And I never fed a thing for a year. Fed pebbles every week.
Does anyone know about
it? Yeah, I do now. Yeah, I've told quite a few people, but literally used to feed rocks. I used to cup them. Used to get them right into the bush and actually cup them into the reed so they never went into the water. And then people next guy would go out there with a great big pot full, bent over, and empty a whole ball of ground back against the far bank.
So not only are you feeding nothing, but you're making everyone else do the opposite.
Yeah. I won so much. And you used to get, every time you won the zone, you used to get 500 quid. So I used to win the zone regular. And like people like Finley and Finn was fishing it, Rob Wotton. Like there was a good scene. Waco used to get brought by his dad. Like some top anglers there, and that's a lot of us how we all started on there. To be fair, Makins
unreal.
Yeah. Rob started on there. He obviously class angler now, and the same with like Waco, Steve, Phil, Jeff. It was a real who's who of.
I can remember seeing it in Angling Times though, bud. There used to be a massive write-up and pictures of the
big match.
One.
Yeah, we won it as Milton Keynes. It'd be teams of 10 as well. Teams of 10 on
Mark and Rob Perkins used to have people
Mark used to run it all. A lot of it with Billy. Yeah. And like obviously Sammy and that was there, his daughter eventually. She was a baby at the time.
Crazy.
Yeah, won both leagues the same year individually, and I fed pebbles. That's all sportsmanship, isn't it?
Of course it is. How much has commercial fishing played a part in your fishing, bud? Because obviously we've talked a lot about it, and it's been very natural. But I know you can do it.
I do, but I get bored. It's like I went on rivers, went to Evesham for years, and I went to fish Evesham after 2010 in the World Club Champs in Poland. I fished Evesham for a long time. You've won
some Evesham matches, haven't you?
Yeah. I've won the individual, won the team event. I framed in, I think I was 2nd or 3rd in the John Smiths. I won the individual on the team event. Been 2nd and 3rd in individual team events. Won a few big opens there. Yeah.
Mega.
Just like fishing, me. I get bored. So like I went commercial fishing for a while. Did 2 or 3 years. I'd done really, really well. Then I went river fishing for a fair few. I went on canals with Shakespeare then after. Fished worm and joker on the canals for a few years. Then I went to Dorking and I went to rivers. Fished Evesham a lot.
Don't you think that's healthy though and made you really rounded?
I tried to qualify for Riverfest about 7, 8 years. Honey was just born, so 8 years ago. I thought I'm going to have 1 year. I'm going to try and qualify for Riverfest. So I rocked up at Burton, caught £6 on a flat fly, and qualified first attempt. Luckily, don't know how, I just did. And I got through the final, come 7th in the final. So I've done all right. So I can fish rivers. I enjoy them. I just enjoy the natural side of fishing for me more. And now feeder fishing's taken over because what I like about feeder fishing is there's no prep. I've got my own business. I've got a young family. Like a lot of guys are here will be doing, and time is limited. That's why feeder fishing is so good. I can go in my garage on a Friday night, I can set 5 rods up, I can tie 20 hooks, and I can compete with everyone. I don't care what anyone says, you can compete doing that. Because there's no prep, there's no hours of tying top 5s, top 6s like you're doing. How long does it take to get ready for World Champs? Weeks.
Compared to the feeder, it's a joke.
Yeah, I tied all my hooks.
Even people like Tamas and Peter Classic, they've been saying they're going more away from float because the prep's
so involved.
If the feeder weren't there to show how easy the prep can be, and it's frustrating sometimes. The
thing is, you could quite easily transition. Like it would take you 3 months and you'd be in the feeder team because you can fish. It's simple as that, and you understand the mentality of fishing at international level. And I think like people like Will and that could transit Evie. Well, Will would be first name on team sheet on both, wouldn't he? Simple as that. That's why I like feeder fishing.
Have the big money finals in commercial fishing ever appealed to you? Have you ever thought, want to win a fish show?
I'll tell you why, because even more so this year, all I see on Dave Book is people bickering.
What's Dave Book?
Facebook. People bickering, rowing, cheating, doing this, doing that, call each other out, tapping this, shouldn't be tapping that, videoing this, videoing that. Don't see any of that feeder fishing.
No.
And I tell you, once you include money in anything, people will always try and find a way. And that's what happens. You go abroad, and I don't want to fish for trophies over there. I mean, that's what really puts me off having a look on the commercial side now is that. Why would you want to put yourself in the firing line when there's other good matches about and the time is limited? So for me, I'm just going to plod along with what I do now, and I'll probably be quite good at commercial if I could be asked to go and do it, but I can't.
Undoubtedly, you'd be brilliant, mate.
But I just don't want to sit there and do it. I just don't want to do it. And if we were all the same, it'd be well boring, wouldn't it?
Of course it would.
And we wouldn't be here doing a podcast. We'd all be doing the same thing. So it's horses for courses. You do it, enjoy, don't you?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. You've touched on personal life. What do you do for a living, bud? And what's your...
Well, if you listen to anyone else, I don't go out of work by the sounds of it. But yeah, I do. I fit kitchens for myself. So.
Have you always done that?
Yeah, I did a bit of security work back in the day when I first left school. Messed about a bit.
What security work? That sounds interesting.
I used to have a mega job, man. I used to work for the Royal Bank of Scotland doing security at night in the head office. So I used to get to work at 6 in the evening, and everyone would go home at 7:30. So I used to get my sleeping bag out of the car. Again, they had a room upstairs. I sellotaped some sofas together, do me kit, and then I just have go to sleep all night.
That's a lovely number.
And then get up in the morning and go home and go fishing. 6 nights a week, yeah. I did it for about 3 years, and I thought, what are you doing, bud?
You used to get paid at all?
Oh yeah, you paid
decent money.
Good enough. Yeah. And I had to do a day job as well because I slept all night.
Never have anyone break in or out like that?
Yeah, I'm not scared of things like that, mate.
No?
If you have to roll around the floor, to roll around. Yeah, things like that don't. And until something happens, why would you worry about it? Pointless, isn't it? You only control what you can control when you're 3 foot around you.
Yeah.
So no, I won't worry about things like that. I just get up and go to work, and then just do go and make binding carpets during the daytime and extra spending money sort of thing. And then I got into fitting kitchens with Richard Swan, who owns a tackle shop in Milton Keynes now. I did 10 years with him, sort of learning my trade, and then sort of went on my own and sort of recipe and history. We earned great money, so you can do what you want. I'm never going to be the richest man in the world because I like spending it with my family and I like going on holidays and I like doing things and eating out. So there's no point in being the richest man in the graveyard, is there?
Of course there's not.
So
do you enjoy working for yourself and doing that?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, like I say, I had 5 weeks off in May and June this year after the World Champs, and I'm going to have the same in September this year. And if I was employed, you can't do it.
You ever get stressed or out like that?
Mate, I did the other year, yeah, money-wise, working out, and work was funny, so I just like thought, you know what, I just take a back seat, de-stress. And I thought, you know what, just go fishing more.
How did you get yourself out of it and take a back seat? What do you class as taking a back seat?
Just to slow down. Like I was earning, like trying to increase the business and make more money. And sometimes you become a busy fool, can't you? Sometimes it's not all about money. It's like you have to sort of take a seat and think, do you know what? You're better off earning $1,000 less a month and enjoying yourself and spending more time with the kids and not coming home and worrying about money and worrying about jobs and doing risk assessments in the evening and stuff like that. So you just take a back seat, earn less, and fish a bit more.
And what's your family situation? I can remember Honey May being born.
Yeah,
that seems 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, she's just turned 9 now. Just turned 9. Yeah, got Sassy who's 21. So Rune met Sass. Like I had Rooney had Sassy when I was a little youngster. Basically, I was 22 when she popped out.
Right. Wow.
So she's obviously 21 now. She's like a fully grown woman now, which is really funny. We went to Ireland a few weeks ago, and her passport beeped going through security. Me and her went for her birthday, So
So
passport.
it's you and 21-year-old daughter going
yeah,
island.
so just me and her. Yeah, so,
That's dangerous, isn't
I
it?
know, yeah. So we went out, got to security at Birmingham Airport. We walked through. I put my passport. I took it off her. I said, "Give me your passport. I don't trust you with it." So I beeped her passport, and it didn't go through properly. This woman, this security went, "Excuse me, sir, your wife's passport's not gone through properly." I rolled up. I was like, Sassy looked at me and she went, "That's my dad." And the woman was like, "Oh, I thought he might be a sugar daddy or something." I was like, "Get in." So yeah, it was good. She's a good girl now. Honey May's obviously 9. I've obviously been married to Leanne now for 10 years.
Mega.
And Henry's just turned up, and Henry is like, yes, it's me and Honey May. She's the best thing anyone can ever call you in the world is Dad. It's like, she's my little star, she is.
Mega.
And Henry's just, if ever there was a man's man as a boy, it's Henry. Like, we went out for a curry last Thursday. We had to have, I got a Cobra Zero. So basically get a beer. I split half it, and he actually drinks the Cobra Zero.
And he's how old?
5, yeah. And the other,
Having a beer.
He ordered a tandoori mixed grill. I'll send you a picture. Oh, you'll love this. He's just a boy. Like,
Is there?
Yeah, proper boy. Yeah.
Has he been fishing with you?
Yeah. He's got the patience as well.
Right.
I'll send you a picture so you can put obviously you can airdrop it again to Toby. You realise he's a proper boy's boy. There you go. Look,
Let's have a look
that's
at
his
it.
second.
Oh, yeah, strap in.
5 years old tandoori mixed grill.
That's a great photo. Do you want me to send it you, Tobes?
Yeah, send it over.
He's just and that is what life is about, mate. It's not about fishing and winning trophies and that. It's about life is about family, really. And sometimes we lose sight of that, really, through work or fishing or so. And someone told me in Ireland years ago, I won't say her name, so don't ever get to a point where your kids are grown up and they don't know you. Whereas I've always put them, them two are just so funny.
Spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, and Henry's just dead funny. Yeah, just funny. Well, he said to me, the guy's been leaving he calls it a curry ass, Henry. So he says to this guy, the Indian guy, Henry goes, "That's the best curry ass in Leighton Buzzard, mate, that is." I'm like, "Oh no, Henry, what have you just does it?" Because they're black and white kids, aren't they?
Yeah.
There is no filter on my Henry whatsoever. And
Fantastic.
he's a boy.
Wonder
Yeah.
where he gets that from.
Yeah, no, Roddy, I think.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, he's a funny old boy. Yeah, he just won't ever change. You can't change him, can you?
No.
I took him fishing, him and his cousin the other month, and they just sit there, and there's little snipers sat in their box and didn't move. Honey May was bored after 10 minutes, and Jamie, my little nephew, was bored after 10 minutes. He's young, but Henry and Joshua just sat there and fished.
I reckon he's going to get into it big time.
I think Henry will. Yeah, I think Henry will eventually. Yeah. But he's just a bit young. He's 5 at the moment. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to force them. I let them they're their own independent persons. They can make their own choices in life. And if they want to come fishing, they can come fishing. If they want to go, well, they're both into kickboxing. Honey May's like a blue belt now at 9. So wants to be a black belt by like 13. So she's really, I watched her last night and she's full sparring. And they do a tournament at kickboxing. So when you're sparring, first to hit or most aggressive stays on. So she stayed on for 5 in a row last night because the boys come towards her, she just goes bang,
Fair
and just
play.
smashes them. Yeah, first go. She's always first in. Yeah, and she did sparring. Did a blue belt grading, and like Leanne, my wife, can't watch it because she gets all het up and like anxious.
What, in case something happens?
Yeah, because honestly, it's brutal. Like, obviously, Toby will tell you when you do spar, it's brutal at times. And
do they proper lay into each other?
Yeah, proper. Yeah.
You've got head masks.
Head masks.
And
Yeah,
stuff.
the first kid that Honey May's, she's fighting this lad that's bigger than her. She's gone in and she's gone like jab cross, and she's took it. The lad's not his helmet on properly, and then his helmet's half come off. And I was like, but then like the first time she got hit,
That's awesome.
I thought she's a little girl, isn't she? I thought she got hit on the nose, like proper punch on the nose. I thought, oh, she's gonna cry, yeah. And I looked around, and all she come across the room windmilling. Like, the red mist is all about martial arts, all about being controlled, and like it's discipline. You'll tell you, and like. She's come across windmilling, left and right, left and right.
Just let it go.
She come out. She'd lost all discipline. Left and right's becoming left, right, centre.
I reckon she'd have you, Tobes, bit sound of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
by the sounds of it.
yeah. So both of them go. They go Monday night for an hour each, and then Tuesday night as well, Wednesday night as well. Yeah,
That's
love
awesome, that.
it. So it's just what kids are about, aren't they? Clubs are just a frigging fortune, man.
Incredible.
And then I do Spanish as well. Do Spanish at the weekends. Honey May's like pretty much fluent at 9.
Do you speak any other languages?
I can order. No.
Nothing.
I can get by in Spanish with odd words I can pick up from her, but I can never hold a conversation. But Honey May and Sassy's 21, she's like pretty fluent, and Honey May's 9, she's fluent.
Fair play to
So
her.
we pay since Honey May's been a baby at 6 months old, we paid for a private tutor to come to the house, and they'll sit on the floor. And the first year, they just sit and talk through the toys and go through the cows like Lavaca and stuff like that, and just repeat words and stuff, and then go from there. And Honey May like has a lesson now, and the entire hour is completely not an English word spoken, and she understands it or replies back. But it's quite funny. The teacher, her tutor, says when I talk to Honey May, she has like a really northern Spanish accent because the lady's from north of Spain. Her accent has passed to Honey May, so Honey May speaks with a broad like Basque accent from the north of Spain. So it's really funny. Obviously, I wouldn't understand if it's north or south.
No, it just sounds Spanish.
But so the tutor's like, yeah, Honey May's got a real northern Spanish accent because of me. So it's funny, isn't it? Like, it's like, but
mental.
you've got to put into kids only become what you mould them to. It's like dogs. You don't ever see a bad dog born, do you?
No.
Dogs are only made to be bad, and the same with kids. Kids are only bad if you let them be bad.
You can mould them.
You can mould them. You do whatever you want to them.
them.
Yeah. But it's only through like my wife's like she's the most maternal, but Anne's not the best mum in the world, and it's only through effort aimed at children that you can do that. And like for fishing, you can only aim them in a direction. You can't force them. You've got to steer them in the right way. And if my kids want to go fishing, they want to go fishing. If they don't, then we'll support them whatever they want to do.
Don't matter.
No, as long as they're happy.
Yeah.
No, as long as they're happy. Simple as that, isn't it?
Damn right. Going back to a bit of fishing, we hadn't touched on it too much, but you got onto the Shakespeare days. Obviously, I know that you spent quite a long time fishing for Dorking as well.
Yeah.
And won a lot of stuff with them.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm saying
days.
that were probably the strongest team Dorking have ever had.
Yeah,
when
massive.
you were in it at that point.
Yeah, we had the right team. Yeah.
How did it come about fishing for Dorking? Where did that come from?
Steve, I had a phone call from like probably what I think is probably the best team manager that's ever been, Stevie Sanders.
Hero, legend,
yeah, just
loving
like Steve, he rang me like Dave Arpin said to him, like, let's get Bud in the team. So my first ever trip away, first ever match with Dorking. It's on the New Junkie Canal, up to you. And that's the year Scott on said to Will, Southern team win fuck all up north. And
that is the best Alan Scott impression ever.
He said, Southern team win fuck all up north. So Will's like, gonna do this, gonna win this. So I went up there, like it was me. Like I bear in mind, I grew up with pictures like Nuddy and Stevie Sanders. So I got to the digs the first morning. Steve Sanders like, Michael, your room is Steve Sanders. I'm like, Steve Sanders. So like, I shared a room with him for the week. We went out every day. What they know about fishing back then was just ridiculous. Like Steve, we worked out that Steve was like, you got to get your ground bait. It's got to be a real oily mix. And then what we're doing is we're getting the squats and we're putting the squats in the middle of the oily mix, squeezing it as hard as we can, feeding out, not loose feeding. And everyone was loose feeding on the junkie at the time. So we did that. And then Will was like, right, we get these soil. So we're getting like loads of clay off the bank. Then we're chopping up lobworms. And then we're putting the lobworms into the clay and mixing it 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 until it went to a complete clag. And all we do is a couple of ball in at 3 meters with that clag. And then we'd put the balls and ground bait in long. And then we just fish squat over the long line and then catch them and put thing under our feet. And it just worked so well. And like, I think I had 2 kilos 600 on the national, and like I was like 7th in my section. I think Stevie Sanders only won. That's the day Steve Gardner won the national.
Yeah,
and like we just won it with record points. Like we had such. Coming back, the scores were like this. Like, oh my god!
Had it sorted.
Just and then like we won that one. So I won 2 Division 1s with Shakespeare and 3 with Dorking. And like the Gloucester Canal was even better. Like I won my section on the Gloucester Canal and Bristol Avon. I was next to Simon Field. Is it Simon Field?
Yeah.
So we drew a bit on the Bristol Avon, and like we walked a flaming mile.
That national was renowned for walks. I never fished that one. I weren't here, but
so I got to my peg. I've walked for about 6 fields. Like I got to my peg with about 15 minutes for the all in on the national.
Never. That's like a nightmare. Bad dream.
He's all set up, Simon Field next to me, and like I'm like it's red hot. I'm like, I forgot my drink. I've walked about a mile. I'm like, so Simon said to me, like, he goes, give me a bottle of water. I looked at my peg, and it was down a big steep bank, and I was like, I just can't be arsed, set Bolo up here. So I set Bolo up. I had a Bolo set. I set a Bolo up, and I set a feeder up, and I had a Sensor's Carp 3000 still left over from somewhere. So I mixed up like 8 balls there, and I was like, I threw some gear in short, gone over it. I've had like 5 pound of dace in the first hour and bits and pieces. I'm like, that's all right. But what I'd done at the start, I threw 8 balls in across, like 3/4, like cannoned them in, like full of worms and casters, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And I chuck a feeder, and it went bream. I had like 17 kilo of bream on the tip, and I think I won my section.
And won the national with Dorking.
Yeah, won the national with Dorking. Yeah, and Steve Sanders, remember ringing and goes, "What you had?" I went, "I've had a few." And then I went to the Gloucester Canal. We put a lot of effort in the Gloucester Canal with Diddy and stuff.
Because he knows it like back of his hand, doesn't he, Diddy? That canal.
And it had been chocolate. And I drew, Sean was 2 to me right. I can't remember, we were up from, I don't know where we were now, but 242 rings a bell for some reason. And like 2.5 hours in, I have not had a bite. I'm like, oh my God, national, not had a bite. So it's gone on the tip, gone, boom, 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 bream. Got it all the way to my net where you are now. I went to the net and the hook pulled out. So I had a proper Tourette's in my, you know, a proper Tourette's. I got me right, I went, whack that, I snapped my tip off. Like proper angry. Like first bite national 2 hours in. I'm like, go on the pole again now. So I put 2 red worms on the pole, shipped it out, put it in my gentleman's rest. Like, let's go. Had a bream. Had 17 or 18 bream in the next 2 hours and won my section on the pole. It was chocolate because everyone had fed it like 14 metres, 15 metres around me. And I was on the outside of a bend and I thought, them boats are going to cut me a bit there. So I fed it all at 11 metres and the wind picked up and these are all like, I just sat 11 metres. I'd like, I think about 16 kilo or something, won the section. I put a picture on in the blue top on that, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, won the national, yeah. I won the section, yeah. Then won the national, yeah.
What happened with team fishing? Do you not do as much of it now?
Steve Sanders retired, didn't he? Steve retired, and I just sort of sat down one night after Steve retired and I thought, I've had me fill.
Right.
Steve was the best, and like, is it going to improve from Steve Gardner? And of course,
Steve Sanders.
And I thought, I'm not going to, ain't going to get any better. He was the best manager ever, sort of thing, the best team ever. I was there, sort of lead, sort of kind of left. Callum's left now, Des has left, and it's sort of a shadow of its form. I'm personally, I would say Barnsley win a lot now, but the kind of team fishing for me is just it's not the teams around to fish against anymore.
No.
And you've got the best group of anglers in the country now in that area. You're always going to win a lot of things. It's just that's the law of averages say that, don't they?
Do you do any team fishing at all now? Not a member of a team, just a little bit in Super League with Lee and
fish
Mick
with Lee, Mick and Will in the Super League and out in Westy. That's good. Really, really enjoy that. And we just threw it all away at the weekend by chucking away a 15-point lead, which was really nice. But it's what it is. Team fishing, isn't it? If it was easy, everyone would do it.
The final's the one that matters, though.
Yeah, all the money's in the final. Yeah, we won the final last year, so that was good.
Are you going to win it again this year?
I hope so. So the only thing good about this year, it's about 3 minutes. Well, it's half hour from your house. So
it's at Albans, isn't it?
So that could be a freak this year. Not anyone can win that because it's big fish. So you could catch catfish, 30-pound carp, 70-pound catfish. No one knows. I think it'll be anyone can win it.
Right.
Which is good for a final. If it becomes elitist with ringers, like the final, the Feeder Masters League has become elitist because ringers win or we win. Yeah, so that's elitist.
Has another team ever won it?
No.
Either you or ringers.
And I had a conversation, how do you make it not elitist? So there's only 2 ways you can do it, really. You either randomly pick teams through a computer-generated thing, or you only make, which is making it worse for me, you're only allowed to field 2 internationals per team, which, bear in mind, affects my team, because we're all international anglers. That's the only way I think you can make it fair is by putting a limit on the international anglers you can field. It's the same with football. You've got to field 10 players from a certain country or whatever, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that's the only way you can make it not elitist, I think. And how do you change it? I don't know. Difficult one, isn't it?
It's really tricky. Because you'd be splitting groups of friends and teams of people.
What you also don't want is you don't want everyone to become disillusioned with it. Because if you're getting a tonkin every single week, and don't forget, without them guys that come in every single week and paying their money, buying the kit from Guru, buying the kit from Matt, buying it from Preston, without them guys who are the mainstay of it all, there is no room for the guys at the top of the sport to be doing things. It all stems from the bottom, and it's all got worked into the plan. And without them, there is no match fishing. So I'm a big advocate of saying, like, the big thing that really, really annoys me on Facebook is the guy's got sponsorship from, say, gold medal ground baits or something. He gets sponsorship there. He gets his bait at half price. So if he doesn't get that bait at half price, he can't afford to go and fish a match. So why would you call that guy out saying, "Oh, he's not a proper sponsor. He's just buying it for a bag of ground bait"? If that's the difference between him putting food on the table for his family and not fishing, surely you've got to encourage him to be sponsored by. It might not be a top deal getting paid, but him getting the bait at half price makes him happy, makes him go fishing, which makes it better for everyone. So I don't understand why you'd call people out like that on Facebook and stuff and slag people off for getting a few bags of ground bait for free when it could help that guy out massively. So that's what I think's wrong with fishing at the moment, like that sort of way. But without them guys, there is no top level sport, and there is no world champs for me and you to fish, and there is no big prestigious titles to win. So I think people need to take a back step and think about what they're saying and things like that, and then think, hang on a second, there's more to this than what meets the eye. On to
talking about sponsorships, obviously you're with MAP at the minute.
Yeah.
What's your sponsorship journey been in fishing, Michael? Because you were at Preston for quite a while.
Started off like with Roon used to give me stick back in the day. He was like, "Why don't you get a deal?" And I was like, "I just can't be asked to deal with all the hassle and that." And I used to pay for all my own kit for till I was about. I joined Preston properly. I was on a bits and pieces deal, like odd little bits to look after me. Ricky Teal would send me a few bits and pieces when he was live, bless him. And when I won the Drennan, just before the Drennan, I was like on a bits and pieces. I get a few bits and pieces. I've paid me carbon and stuff like that, and I'd get me hooks, line, and floats free. And then 2013, when I won the Drennan, I got a proper paid deal as such, like got everything for free, and I get paid a consultancy fee as such. But before that, I've always been a grafter, me, so I always worked hard and bought what I wanted to do, and I had no children back at the time, so it was no proper like things like that, and massive bills to pay. And then I joined, obviously, with Preston for a long time, and the opportunity came with Boo, as it happened, who you see earlier, that spoke to me about MAP and that, and there was a MAP approached me. We had a few discussions and stuff, made a few offers and declined a few offers, and then we got to an agreement, and since I joined MAP, in 2 years, I've had 4 medals, so something's obviously working quite well on the line.
Damn right.
But I think sponsorship's a funny one. Like, if you're happy with whatever you're getting, then I don't see any issue with it, me. No, just think some people are just jealous, and that's the end of it, isn't it? And like I say, Matt's been good to me. And we work well. So that's the main thing. They're based in Milton Keynes.
Makes some lovely kit and all, Matt. The gear's good.
Yeah, rods are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rods are awesome. But I've talked to Adam on the way down, like, with MAP, they try and innovate a few things, and like with Guru, they innovate a few things. But what you can't do with fishing, I think, is like everyone's like, you copied me this, you copied that. Mate, you can't reinvent a wheel.
Of course you can.
You can't. So you can only get a product, and like say a reel. You can't reinvent a reel. It's a reel. A reel is a reel.
A rod.
A rod's a rod.
A fishing rod.
Yeah.
Everyone makes a fishing rod.
You can only take it and improve it, can't you?
Yeah.
Tweak it, put your own spin on it. What Adam said to me was right. Corda developments as opposed to Corda innovations, because they develop things further. Which is it's right, isn't it, fishing? And you can't reinvent a wheel. And everyone, and you know, it's like, this rod's better than that rod. This rod's better than that rod. Guarantee if I took you and got you with a angling direct home rod, you're still beating 95% of the world. Because a rod doesn't make a fisherman. No. A fisherman makes a rod. And that's the way I look at it now. And like, good kit helps it easier. No doubt about that. And obviously, with MAP, I get all my stuff with MAP, and obviously get a few quid and stuff and that. And it makes life a lot easier. It makes me able to compete at a high level for more.
Like you've just said, 5 weeks a year off.
Yeah,
or 10 weeks a year off.
I think I had 14 last year fishing.
Can't do that without good backing from a good sponsor, mate. 100% not.
You can't do it. Obviously, you win a few quid. The more you fishing, the more you win anyway. And I've never spent any of the money I've ever got from sponsorship. I just don't ever spend. I class it as free money. So I just invest it and just put it in the right place and stuff, because I can live without it. So it doesn't make me have to. I don't have to have that to live. So that's extra money that goes into saving pots for future and kids, and when I'm an old fart, like in about a year's time and stuff like that.
Stop it! You're still a little
whippersnapper.
Yeah.
I don't feel it anymore. But I go on the matches though, Matt, and I'm still the youngest. Still still in the bottom 5%.
And you're 44.
44. Yeah.
Crazy.
Mad, isn't it?
Do you think it's healthy or unhealthy, young angling at the minute?
It's terrible, isn't it?
Where are they all?
Well, hats off to you guys at Guru and trying to bring some through. But when we were growing up, and like probably not as much as you, but me, there was like I was out with my mates. Like I come home when the street lights went on, and I was out in the farmers' fields fanning about and doing naughty things and stuff. But now you watch them like just sitting Xboxes and everything, Snapchat, Instagram, and
head in a phone.
Yeah. And that's I think where it is now. And it's not glamorous, is it? Everyone wants to be an influencer, don't they?
I always think it's scary that, like you said, we do some interesting things at Guru, but we do Match Academy that's got 100 kids on it. We do Talent Pathway that's got 50 kids on it. 150 kids is not saving match fishing.
And that's probably, I reckon that's probably 80% of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So a best case, 300 kids going match fishing in the country at the moment.
Sounds great numbers. It's not at all.
300 is nothing.
It's frighteningly low.
How many children are there? Millions. And I don't know how you do it. I was talking to Toby earlier. My idea is still the best for match fishing on telly is the best. I've got a real good idea for it.
This is brilliant.
I reckon you should do this.
Hit me with it.
It's a belter.
Go on then.
I'd take this sport up.
Yeah, you might be probably the only thing you win at.
Yeah.
So match fishing is proper boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is boring. I don't care what anyone says. It's mega boring. But what you should do is like either do an hour-long match, a 1 hour match. But I think you should do like a 50 or half an hour match, and then half an hour in, there's like a bell goes, and then you can jump off your box and you can smash shit out the guy next door. It's like a cage fight on the bank. Whereas like you can lever each other for 15 minutes. Whoever wins,
you would be good at this.
Yeah, I would.
You'd be good at this.
Whoever wins gets like a £10 add to your weight or something.
What sort of like?
Like literally, if a bell goes off and like it's like a royal rumble where you just smash each other in the head and stuff with bank sticks.
Smash everyone's pole sections.
No, each other, not poles.
Right.
People.
So it's wrestling.
So it's like it's a wrestling fishing, yeah. Because fishing's so boring. I wouldn't watch fishing. I go fishing. I wouldn't watch fishing.
Everybody would watch that.
Yeah, how funny would it be?
I tell you what, that would be.
It would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Totally different.
But even if you had to wear gloves, like, so you couldn't hurt each other, you could wear proper gloves, but you could proper stamp into
Yeah.
How funny would that be?
You're talking about mind games earlier. You imagine the mind games, Matt, I'd play with you if we were next to each other. And then
but
that was like 5 minutes away.
I would kick the living shit out of you, Toby. I would. You wouldn't have a chance. Honestly, I'd absolutely...
What are you, Toby? How many Dan are you? Did you do Dan's?
No, they don't do Dan's. No, but I've been doing it a few years.
So you obviously graded now. You're obviously a black belt then.
No.
So you are a pussy then.
Yeah.
You know now, if me and Bud started on you now, do you think you could take two of us on? Seriously, if we come at you full power, me and him now, do you reckon?
I'd take some damage, but I'd have my back. Yeah.
No, I think you wouldn't. I think you'd.
I think I'd fucking lever him.
Yeah.
This is gonna cut to like some extra promo where you two just beating the shit out of me.
No, to be fair, Tobes had me in some moves before, and he's like, he gets me in a position, and he's like,
it hurts, doesn't it?
This one stops your blood, and I'm like, this one stops your airway, and I'm like,
that's why a lot of like MMAs or like Taekwondo and stuff like that, it's all fucking tucking each other up in different knots, and that's why they all tap out, don't they? Because it hurts.
Yeah, big time.
It hurts.
I've never been in a fight. Have you ever been in a fight, Bud?
Me? Yeah, loads.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Quite a feisty, fiery person.
Yeah, I was a bit of a dickhead when I was younger, yeah.
What's worst injury you've ever had through fighting?
I got bottled. It smashed across the face of the bottle. Yeah, across there, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Didn't break though, luckily, because I got stupidly hard head.
You madhead.
Yeah. I remember I getting outside Empire nightclub, Milton Keynes, and I'd like pull some girl or I had a row with some bloke about a dance or whatever. And I walked outside, and these lads all started on me and Bagley, and the guy called Alex Harvey used to work in the fishing shop together.
Mm.
And they come over and like just fucking planked me with a bottle across the head. Now, and I remember laying on the floor getting a kick in, like with one eye shut. And Bagley, they were holding Bagley back, and he was just watching me get a kick. And I got right stonking on the floor. Yeah. Good old days.
Right, so we're going to invent Guru Fishing Wrestling League.
Yeah, good. You're going to get Danny on it, get it up and running.
Yeah,
well funny,
sure.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Tell you what, imagine if you drew next tag to like Denty or someone, like, you'd be like, oh, for God's sake, I'm going to get a right kick in here.
Yeah, you might draw beside Johnny Arthur.
That's true.
You might win something.
Yeah. Imagine Christian Jones in that one.
Yeah, you're going to
Flash
win it.
him.
Yeah. Probably the only thing that he can't win at. He's that good. He wins everything else.
That'd be the only thing you could beat him at.
Yeah.
Wonder what Andy Bennett would be like.
I don't know. I wouldn't besides mate Johnny Jowett though.
Oh God, no.
He's a big lumpy Johnny.
Which person in fishing would you least like to fight?
I bet Will Raisin's got a bit about
Mike Dagnall.
Oh Christ, yeah, I want to fight Mike or Will.
Yeah.
Willow?
Raisin,
yeah, he's a big lump, isn't he? I reckon Lee Edwards would be rock hard and all.
Yeah.
Or John Harvey.
I think Lee Edwards would just be like made of iron, and
tell you who's a big lump who scares me a little bit. He's a real nice mate of mine, Zach Williams.
Oh aye.
He's a big boy him.
Now then. Lovely.
But I tell you now, he's
a cuddler though. He's a cuddler, Zach.
All the little nightmare ones are always the smallest and quietest, aren't they? They're always the ones that are dangerous.
Bald ones with glasses on.
They can't work iPod machines. Probably.
Yeah. Right. So this is how much Buchwalder does IT, folks. He's just called it an iPod machine.
Yeah, that's near enough, isn't it? iPod.
So, yeah, we'll give you that.
So what are you recording the podcast on, Toad?
An iPod machine.
An iPod machine.
At least you're recording it this time.
It's no I in that one.
One competition I want to ask you about, because you've got such a good record at the venue, and at Feeder Masters. Are we going to see you win Feeder Masters while it's at Tamar?
See, everyone keeps saying to me, you're not qualified this year, but I've sold half my tickets this year just because I can't be asked.
Really?
Yeah, I sold the Trent Sunday.
Is that because of these?
Yeah, but probably I just can't. I'm a big believer in like goes around, comes around. 2024 owes me nothing.
You completed it.
Owes me nothing. So if I qualify, don't. I was third last year. I drew shocking the first day. Like the first day, I had drew on the big sandy point, which is this crap for skimmers. And Steve Whitford on my right, fish for skimmers all day, £18. Eddie Bryden, fantastic on my left, fish for skimmers all day, £15 by £33 a roach. Can't do any more than that. Second day, drew next to tank, drew one to the right of the buoy. It's a chance of skimmers now, but hedged me bets and that, and I got away with £30. I come third. And Lee's had a £5 bream, which is one in Feeder Masters. Otherwise, Zach would have won for second year running. And Lee's drew Skimmer Point, which is like twice best peg. He drew Gore's 3 times, which is the best peg. You can't beat that. One of the best anglers in the world on the best peg on a lake is impossible to beat. And if your time comes around, I've been 3rd at Bow Beach and 3rd at Feeder Masters, 7th and 8th at Tamar. I think if your name's on it, your name's on it. If you're not, it's not. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Do you know what I mean?
Are you superstitious at all in your fishing?
Yeah, terrible, yeah.
Honestly? In what way?
I'll show you.
Oh, this is interesting. He's getting his wallet out.
These are Thursday night in a festival. We have lucky notes. So I have €100 note from the first ever World Pairs.
Wow.
Some notes from India my mate gave me.
From India?
Yeah. I've got an old £10 note, one off James and Doherty for a match when I beat him. His old £5 note, one off a bet in Ireland. Old £10 note, one off a bet in Ireland with people.
Wow.
Is that a piece of a £10 note?
Yeah. So we ripped it on. Give it to me. Quite angry with me. €10 note from beating someone in Ireland. $1. So what I do is on the night before a match on a Thursday, you have to go around, me, Rod, and Rod's got an old £50 note from about 50 years. You have to go kiss every single one, kiss every single note, and put it back in the wallet, and it always stays there. The €100 note's always got to stay on the outside. It don't matter how you fold them up, but the €100 note's got to stay on the outside.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really.
You've got about £1,000 on table in front of us in the bloody podcast.
That's Nando's afterwards.
We're not paying for Nando's after, he
No,
is.
yeah.
I've seen Rooney eat. We didn't talk about me and Rooney anyway. We used to have car races. No one will know, you see. Me and Rooney grew up together.
Right. What was he like? Was he bad? Have you got any?
Yeah,
Have you got any
I did.
dirt you can dish on him on podcast while I've got you here?
I'd never do that. Anyway,
I actually spoke to Rooney before we started recording this morning.
Okay.
And he has something really nice to say about you. He said that man has taught me loads about fishing.
Yeah, it's good. We used to. I said to we were chatting away. I used to ring him. So before the days of phones, I'd ring his house. His mum would answer, and I'd say, "Is Adam there?" She went, "Oh, he's out playing football, Michael." I said, "Can you give him a message? I'll pick him up at 8. So I used to live in Yardley. So I used to get in my car because I drove and he didn't drive at the time. So I had to drive to his house, pick him up, like 40 minutes out the wrong way, pick him up to drive past my house to go to Milton Keynes. And then I'd drop him off and stuff. And that, yeah, we had some right good time. Missed about me. I used to have an Escort 1.6 gear. And then he started to drive. And then we told you a little while ago, Ads has always had really fast cars, hasn't he?
God, he loves
He's like
them.
a proper tart, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves them.
So we had I thought I'm going to buy one. So I bought an Astra GTE, like the big one, 60, was it 16 or 32? It had throttle body, so it's rapid. So I've got to his house one morning. He's got he's got a Fiesta RS Turbo, the red one he had. So we got lined up, and I'm like, should we go for it? It was like, yeah. So we did his house to Morelands Farm for I think it was a Super League practice or something brand, I can't remember. And at one point, we were doing 158 on the M40, racing each other. And we got there, like ridiculous. That's so stupid.
Like Fast and Furious,
mate. We were terrible. We raced each other as fast as we could. Like I had nothing left in the car. My car was souped up as well. Both cars were souped
Obviously,
up.
you're not encouraging fast
No,
driving.
we're not.
But then back in the day,
promoting,
it was empty then. The roads were empty then. Well, it's 20 years ago. There's nowhere near the traffic. There was we were like racing, we were like flying there.
We need to say you were allegedly road
Allegedly,
racing.
yeah, allegedly. We weren't racing.
No,
Like,
allegedly.
we couldn't keep, and then we got there and turned the car off. Turned the car off and all day for like 4 hours. My car's like because it's so hot.
Because you towed it.
So hot, yeah, so hot. No, yeah, we did that. Yeah, we did some right funny things. We used to be a right little bugger. Good old days. I remember on a Winter League semi-final in Milton Keynes, we missed out on qualifying by 1 point. So we're all devos. We went out on the night in Northampton. I think Ringer and Steve, we met them out in a nightclub up there as well. So all the Milton Keynes boys come out. Me, Greeny, Rooney, Abbo. And we were like 3 in the morning. Rudens drove. He used to drive. So we come out the nightclub at like 4 in the morning. It's like frost and ice everywhere. Like, I'm going to get home. Like, I'll take you. So we got like 7 of us piled in his Fiesta. And it's like, and I was like, I know the quickest way. So I took him every single back road in the world just to annoy him. It took us an hour and a quarter to get home. And it was ice everywhere. He dropped us off and that. And then it texted me to run me next day. You arsehole, you did it on purpose, didn't you? We had some funny times, yeah. I remember he lent me his car to go to KFC on a canal practice once, and I'd never drove his RS Turbo. And like, it's fucking hanging it round the corner. Now I never stacked it, I'll never know. But yeah, we used to play 5-a-side, everything, me and Roon. We had a team called the Pellet Heads.
Where did that come from?
For some reason, Bagley, used to, one of my best man, when I was best man it is. we decided to play football one night on a five-a-side. So it was me, Adam Rooney, Martin Green, Gary Snee, who fishes for Black Horse.
Yeah.
Steve Rowe, Big Steve.
Yeah.
So we had a team called Paul Abbott. Abbo was goalie. So the first ever game was they do a grading game basically on five-a-side. So you have a grading game. So we turned up at our grading game and absolutely battered it. We were like this, like Rooney and stuff. Won the game. So they then put us in fucking Division 1. And we lost every game all season.
Oh, no.
I got sent off twice for fighting. Steve got your red card for calling the referee.
Rooney any good at footy?
He's all right, Rooney, yeah. And his mate Ben used to come and play, and I'm crap, like real bad at football. All I did was kick people and punch people. And
have you ever been into any other sport other than fishing?
I used to do cross country at school. I was quite good at cross country at school, and I used to run it for district and stuff.
What about now? Do you do anything else now?
You look like it.
I don't know. You might do. You might be a wrestler.
Mate, last time I ran, the police were chasing me. That was about 20 years ago. Yeah, no.
Do any fitness or anything? Or?
Yeah, I started the gym this year because I've sort of become a fat knacker and just sort of get a bit healthier and stuff like that. And go once a week or once or twice a week. Just try.
Feel better for it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely feel better myself. Sleep better at night time and that, and lost about 1.5 stone and just
Fair
feel
play.
healthier. I just feel healthier because match fishing is not. It's not the most strenuous job, but it helps you when you don't get to your peg and you're blowing out your bumhole, doesn't it? Like I remember Gaz at Tamar this year, he drilled past him on Feeder Master qualifier. And it's about my laugh around there. And he hadn't got an electric trolley, so I was laughing my head off. And he got opposite me, and I could hear that's the worst walk of my life. Can't even breathe. Get me a fag. And I can get his breath back.
Got to be better for you being a bit fitter, hasn't it, though?
Yeah,
sure, especially what you're doing, going to Spain and fishing in hot countries.
And it's so bad, and when you're big, it kills you, doesn't it? It kills you. You would never know. You've always been like a racing snake. But when you go over there and it's like 40 degrees and you're fishing for 8 hours, it's hard work, isn't it? It's hard work.
Massively. You're absolutely knackered after,
yeah,
aren't you?
You probably can't do anything, can you?
No.
Yeah, that's why I do love it. I do love fishing in the heat. I do love it.
Prefer it to the cold.
Yeah, Jesus. I've only started going fishing in the winter time since I joined Matt. I thought I'd best try. Honestly, about 4 winters, never went in winter, did I?
Not bothered.
No, I used to fish once every 2 weeks with Frankie. We fished that thing at Oldcroft.
You won it?
Yeah, and then they stopped me. That was a great tactic, weren't it, what I did there?
What did you do? I don't know.
Did the Dorking days. Remember at Dorking, we used to basically...
the walk away.
The walk away, yeah. So when I first joined Dorking, like, go back to the days, I fished the Winter League on Gold. So we always like...
You fished so many places, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, fished Winter League, Gold, yeah. Fished
Gold Valley?
Fish Winter League. It's only about 45 miles from me to Gold. So I fished there, and like, Will was like, this is my first ever league. Right, well, he goes, feed there, bud, and then see you in the clubhouse. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, put all that joker in there, and I'll see you in the clubhouse. Come back to the clubhouse straight away. I'm like, really? I weren't sure. So they've all fed their gear, and I see every Dorking angle, all 10 of us, all nine of us getting up, and me sat in my box. So Bud's like, Steve, I was like, Bud. So we've gone in the cafe, like an hour. This is like 10 o'clock start. So 11 o'clock, we're all still sat in the clubhouse at Gold Valley. Everyone else is fishing.
Just having a coffee?
Yeah, and all Dorking are in there. All of them. And like, I sat there, and about an hour and a quarter goes, and Will went, just caught a roach there. Right, let's go, boys. All went back. I think we won 9 out of 10 sections. No one fished for an hour.
Nah.
So I tried it. Went to fish with Paul Holmes for a bit. The first year I went to Holcroft, met a good angler, Paul. And I sort of looked at the place and I thought, and no one was catching early. So I got like it was a Guru bait up feeder. I took the lid off the bottom, so it was just a plastic feeder. I put like 10 feeder falls in at 12 metres, and I went for a walk. I went to the cafe on my own. So I'm sat in the cafe having my breakfast. Everyone's fishing. I'm sat in the cafe having my breakfast. And I walked past Matty Pelly on the way back, and he went, "Where have you been?" I said, "Been for brekkie." He went, "What, you're in a match?" I said, yeah. Like, there you go, cup of tea. Give him a cup of tea. Walked back to my peg. I went, "Anyone caught?" He went, "No, everyone from the, is it 140 or something? I can't remember the peg number it is. All the way down the far side was dry, and I was about 4 or 5 pegs out the corner. I was just sitting sort of, there's an aerator, and every single person, my whole bank was dry. So I sat down, put 2 bloodworm on, fished out. I used to fish 08 in a 20 F1 911. Chucked it out. Had 3 bream and 3 chucks. First 3 chucks. Yeah.
I bet everyone were cursing.
I'm mad.
Been sat having your breakfast, then come back and catch 3 bream.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah.
Why does it work in all seriousness?
It's got to be lack of noise, isn't it? Has to be. It can't be anything else, can it?
Like the quietness, not sat on your box, banging about.
Not setting. And literally, the amount of times I went back and I won, like, I just took the what's it for like 6 matches on there, and like caught like double figures every round, and like hammered everyone around me. I didn't feed. Just went fed and went for a walk. And Like, yeah, and Pete Patton came up one day, and you obviously know Pete.
Yeah. Legend.
And,
Papa
Pete,
Smith.
I said, Pete, feed, and I'll meet you in the cafe. We sat in there for, I think we sat for 2 hours. It was snowing. It was late snow. I bought a Maver umbrella and put it on my kit. And in the tackle shop in the morning, went to have breakfast, fed, went to have breakfast, sat there for an hour and 3/4, 2 hours, went back, and I think I was third in the match, and I had like £18 through the snow, just and fished for 2 hours. But it just works, and we become busy, don't we? Become too noisy on our pegs, don't we?
Makes you wonder if sometimes in winter you do it more damage than good by trying to catch fish early.
Yeah, and by chucking, I think all the time you're making noise and disturbance. Where like with Dorking, they used to feed it and walk away. And they used to call it the walk away as well. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And like a lot of places banned it. I did it on a Winter League match with Shakespeare. Me and Abbo had been out on the lash night before, and like you got a headache, and drew a little on, drew a big, quite a good area of the bushes just past the cables, and I'd caught nothing. Like 2 hours in, and walking, I didn't know walking was meant to be banned on this league, so I've caught nothing. And I'm like, I've had enough of this, cold. So I went for a walk for about half hour, 40 minutes, come back, caught a £16 common carp, and 3 chub in the next 3 puts and won the match. When you went across, went 10 elastic fishing for a chub. Up popped a great big carp.
Just scooped you
middle of winter. Won the match in the carp.
Fishing worms and casters and stuff.
Double caster for chub, yeah. Just let you number 10 through one section, obviously fishing against chub.
Incredible.
£16 carp, yeah.
Like you say, a lot of places don't allow you to do it.
Yeah.
To be fair,
it's like Southfield, you can't walk away, can you?
No.
Can't go for a walk at Southfield and that.
I don't think Allcroft you cannot feed. You might be able to, but I don't know.
It should be.
I might try it.
You should
now.
be able to do whatever you want in your own match, shouldn't you?
Yeah,
I personally, I'm a big advocate. That's why I like Barston, because there's no stupid rules. And like the rules only get broken when there's loads of them, isn't there? If everyone knows the rules to break, you don't get any rules broken.
No. You ever been done for breaking rules out like that?
No.
You ever experienced anyone cheating in a match or anything like that?
Yeah. People like getting caught with barb ducks and stuff like that. Yeah, but I won't mention people's names. That's not fair to mention people's names and stuff. But I've seen it. Yeah, but it's not for me. Like, if you have to stoop to that to win, then maybe you're in the wrong sport. Simple, innit?
100% agree.
But then, like we touched on a minute ago, where there's money involved, there's
People
always
push it.
people pushing it. Simple as that, innit? Best way to be normal.
Generally, fishing is very, very good, though. I'm saying for that. A lot of good people in
Yeah,
it.
a lot of good people. Yeah, there's not many bad ones. There's not many bad eggs about.
I want to ask you this question, just out of curiosity. I sometimes ask quite a few different really good anglers. You've done loads of fishing, different venues, won a lot of massive things on so many venues. Do you have any like secret additives or secret ground mix? Is there anything that you have in your fishing that you think I've got something here that no one else has, even if you don't tell me?
Yeah, no, nothing. I did a few in Arden a few years ago. I had a tub of that mainline activator, and I peeled the label off.
The white one, the white
tub. Yeah, but I didn't use it. All I did, I got a Sharpie and writ on the side hybrid juice, and left it on my side tray. So everyone's like, what's that hybrid juice that Bud's using? What's that hybrid? There's a tub I didn't even open. It was called hybrid activator. It was the one I used in the canal, but on the carp plates, they dip the stuff in.
Yeah.
I just writ hybrid juice on the side, and everyone was going around, what's hybrid juice? What's hybrid juice? What's hybrid juice? The only thing me and Rod did use in Ireland is monkey sick, basically. You just monkey sick, catch
What's
a monkey.
monkey sick?
It's fine. I don't know how it come about as monkey sick. Basically,
That's a great name.
I know. It's a typical Roddy Scott, that is. Bloody monkey sick, that is. No, just come up with it. So basically, it's like loads of ground bait, soft, slop it right up so it just sticks in a window, chuck it, and every now and then, if you're catching nothing, put one in. And you catch on the sick, and everyone's like, what the hell's sick? And that come back, everyone was like, are you fishing liquidized hemp and stuff? I'm like, do I look like I'd liquidized hemp? It's just like, it comes out of a tin, doesn't it? Hemp, as simple as that. And that, no, I don't think there's any secret additives in the world. I think additives that catch anglers me and think it works. And I like, sometimes I buy them tutti fruity ones because I like the smell of them. Like, it's just weird, isn't we? I still buy them. Like, I could get them free for a lot of places. I still buy them. I like the smell of things.
What, and put a bit on your pellets?
Yeah.
Or...
If it works in your head, it works, doesn't it? Fish is all about confidence, isn't it, at the end of the day? And like, people tell me everywhere, we shouldn't feed worms. Fish don't like worms. Have you ever been to a venue where fish don't like worms?
No, fish like worms.
No, there you go.
A lot
and
of fish
people
like
tell
worms.
you, I spoke to a guy last year at Staunton, was like, can't catch on worms. They're backing off worms. And we won the Super League, put a pile in. So like,
I think they're quite a powerful bait, worms, bud.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I think you got to be a bit careful. I just kind of, I'm a feeder, me. I am a feeder.
I think it's the right way to go, though. Positive rather than negative.
You don't win a lot by being negative, especially in summer. Winter's different. Summer, you've got to be positive. And like I say, leaving team fishing made me a better angler as well for individual, because it gives you that freedom to try a bit more, and like you can push the boundary. But with team, if you think, fucking best I can come here is third, but I'm like, not worth coming third. May as well fish it to win it. And it becomes, and if you notice, a lot of the commercial guys don't fish for teams, do they? Because they fish to win all the time. And they might come last 6 times out of 10, but 4 times they win big money things and stuff. And that's probably the mentality you need. And team fishing is, for me, is well gone.
It's a different mindset, individual and team fishing,
and
totally.
The sad thing about it is I love team fishing, but it ain't ever coming back.
No.
Team days of 10 and 12-man teams are, for the worst, gone and forgotten. And like 4-man, 3-man, 5-man teams will be the way forward now.
Quite healthy, though. There's quite a few of them events.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
there now?
good, yeah. Because people can't, with 5-man events, you can find 5, can't you?
Yeah.
With 10, it's difficult now,
Yeah.
isn't it? Difficult.
Maybe we'll see some angling trust events or nationals and stuff change to smaller teams in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, I bet they're still organised well, aren't they?
Very well.
Very well.
Next
question.
What's next for you? You've done so much. I mean, we've talked about everything from island to commercial fishing, team fishing, the international side of things. You're still ridiculously young, 44 years of age.
Yeah, in fishing terms, yeah, for definite. I don't know.
What can you see yourself doing in the next 20 years, bud? What are we going to be talking about when you're on a podcast in another 5 years?
iPodcast.
I
I don't know, mate. I thought about going down the float route, and I put my play name forward this year to be selected for the Irish float team on that canal in France.
Nice.
And I was picked, and I just thought, I just can't be asked.
Right.
So I pulled out.
And
now I'm going for the same weekend. Me and Westy are doing a continental pairs 2-dayer in France.
Oh, wicked! That'd be good.
As I was driving home, I got an email through from a place called Open d'Orgues, which is a big competition in the south of France. The organiser said, "We really like you as a world champion to be at our match. We'll pay the €400 entry for you." So
cracking.
I said to Matt, like, "Do you want to go and film it?" And I said, "Yeah, we'll pay for it." And then I said, "Well, it's continental pairs. So you both fish the same peg." So me and Westy will fish the same peg, literally 2-day feeder actually on the same peg, literally 6 yard apart.
And is that carp fishing? Or?
No, it's all bream and big-eyed and roach, and so it'll be up our street. Like, me and Westy are both feeders and positive anglers, so it'd be a good. That sort of thing's appealing to me more now. All I want to do now is go Europe and fish. I don't want to fish in England anymore.
You got a taste for it, haven't you?
Yeah, massive. And you talk to Phil Ringer about it the week, and Phil's the same. Phil's like, "I want to fish abroad, bud." Because you go, it's just such a buzz, isn't there? It's different.
Totally different.
Totally different, and like. It is a buzz, a massive
There's a big
buzz.
audience there, though. There's a lot of appreciation for good anglers.
How
doing
much
that kind
percentage
of
do you reckon bigger fishing in Europe is than in England?
Massive.
Monstrous.
I think it's generally a lot younger as well. There's a lot more younger people.
Look at loads younger. Maybe it's because I don't know, different cultures. Maybe it's not a race thing; it's a culture thing. I think.
Yeah.
And a different culture of fishing and that, but there is a lot younger.
So you can see yourself doing a lot more continental
style.
style.
Maybe fish less.
Will we see you fish a float world champs, do you think, for Ireland?
Yeah. Well, next year we're going, hopefully, get on. I fished the World Clubs for Shakespeare in Poznan in Poland. Done all right over there. I beat that Feeney off the next peg.
Feeney?
Yeah.
Italian guy.
Yeah.
Andrea
and
Feeney.
they had like, mate, they had an entourage. It was like Beyonce was on tour.
They have
It was
20
embarrassing.
blokes with her.
More. Yeah.
Chef, doctor,
I know, yeah.
masseuse.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I have Brenton Sweeney and James Plaisted rubber. Mind you, be fair, that James this year in Spain with my diarrhea and that, he packed up for me twice. I'd have been still on the bank now, man.
Fair play to him.
Good lad, him, top lad. But yeah, I don't think I could do more in Europe, for definite. Yeah. And like, we're so close to the tunnel, especially like living where I live in Milton Keynes. I can be in Calais quicker than I can be at Southfield
That's ridiculous.
on a Sunday morning. Mad, isn't it? And I'm safer.
Yeah, now then, you don't want to be travelling up Doncaster way.
Not too often.
Yeah. I've got some quick fire questions for you that I ask all the guests. I've not even teed you up for them, never do. But I'm going to fire them at you now. An item in your seat box you couldn't live without, Michael Buchwalder.
And we Lucky Disgorger I found when I was about 15.
Oh.
It's got a Lucky Disgorger. It's a red one with one of them little, like on my lanyard thing you give me, like one of the little pull cords.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been in my seat box since I was 15.
Never use it?
Never used it once, but if I lost it, I'd quit fishing.
Right, there you go. I look forward to seeing that. If you could only fish one venue for the rest of your
River
life.
Ern.
That was quick, wasn't it?
That was as quick as quick fire
That's
gets.
probably the most common answer I'm saying. Anyone who's ever been to Loch Ern says Loch Ern.
Yeah, we even spent time with Leanne's dad's ashes in there last year. It's that
Did you
special
really?
a place. Yeah, it's that special a place. Yeah, it's magical.
Who is the best angler that you've ever fished with?
Will Raisin.
Another very, very, very
Also
common
very
answer.
common, yeah.
He's ridiculous.
Very common answer. If there's one thing you could change about fishing, what would it be?
Social media.
Go on, tell me more.
I just think it's really bad for fishing, and think it makes people with no courage courageous, and arseholes even bigger arseholes. Well, what we should do is someone wins, you should say, absolutely brilliant, well done, mate, fantastic. Not, oh, he drew MPEG there, he drew MPEG here, he's that, you know. If someone wins, you say, well done, simple as, isn't it? That's what I don't like about it.
You're not scared of holding back on social media, are you?
No, because if people are arseholes, they're arseholes. As simple as that. There was some comment with, not condoning, I wasn't there with Johnny Arthur and the scoop thing, so I can't pass comment. But people were being out of order, and it was bullying.
Yes.
Some people were. And
yes.
I just said it. I said, like, you need to stop it, it's bullying. And if it upsets people, I don't really care.
No.
If it's right, if black's black, white's white. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's simple as that, isn't it? And that's the best way to look at life. If you're dead honest and dead straight, and people get upset, then they're not worth worrying about, are they?
No, not all.
So I'm pretty blunt with that. I upset a few people. I don't really care, though.
No. Don't lose sleep over it.
No. Elephant skin me, mate. Elephant skin.
I like it, though, bud.
Over me head.
I like it. If you had to give someone who's never been fishing before some inspiration to go and give it a go, what would you say to them?
What would I say to them? I say you need to go fishing and just sit there and look around yourself and forget the world, and don't worry about catching anything to start with. Just catch your fish comes second to what's around you. Just look at nature and just be inspired of what's around you.
Like it. Somewhere like Loch Earn, preferably.
Anywhere, even like, no, maybe not commercial, but anywhere that's natural. You just sit there, no phone signal, just sit there and just think, life. Life's for living, isn't it?
Damn right. Beautiful. Beautiful way of putting it.
Inspiring. That's what you want. Inspired to go fishing on natural venues.
And have you brought us a gift?
I have brought you a gift. I have brought you a gift earlier.
What we got? I've been like on the edge of my seat most of the time.
You won't have one of these.
You nearly gave it me before.
This is very, very special for you. This is a one of a kind. I brought you.
You know you've got to leave this.
Yeah. I brought you an Irish shirt.
Straffy.
Which you won the silver medal in Belgium.
I hope it's not been washed.
No.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, we've not had an Irish international on, have we?
That's why I thought long and hard about it. I thought, well, I like that one. And I've got the one that I won in Merida's framed. I thought you can't have that. But I thought silver's pretty good.
You have washed it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Leanne washed everything.
Wicked.
Tell you what, Matt, we can hang it down here.
Yeah, we can. Well, we're having a bit of a gift sort out, me and Tobe, because we've got that many at the minute. We've ordered some big glass cabinets.
We've got some display cases
and
downstairs ready, haven't we?
So you should get that one framed, just hang it on the wall.
Yeah, we're going to.
Because not many of them about. That is a one-off.
An Irish shirt for the gift. Tobe, what are you saying about that?
Yeah, it's brilliant, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Absolutely awesome. And finally, massive congratulations on 2024 success so far. Honour to have you on. I've said this to some people before, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart with you. Massive respect for your fishing, mate.
No, I appreciate that.
Massive respect. Really enjoy following what you do, and amazing achievements. And
been a pleasure to come on, mate. I really enjoyed it.
Will you come back on?
Yeah.
When you've won another few?
I might even think about dishing some more dirt on the Rune Dog. I might think about the proper
You've been quite tame, to be fair, haven't you?
I think I want a deal.
Yeah.
Not really.
Thank you, mate. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you ever so much. Cheers, Toby.
Cheers,
Thank you.
mate.